evening, everyone. Welcome to the Expert Racing Network. I'm Blair Patterson in the booth with Expert. How you doing this evening, Expert?
I'm doing just fine. Trying to correct the title over here because Twitch didn't want to do it itself, but we're getting the title and everything set up over here because Twitch did not save it. But definitely happy to be up here in the booth. We're just a few moments away from the debut of the NNR Truck Series. I cannot be more excited.
Absolutely. I've been sitting here watching practice with you for a few minutes. You got a big wreck in practice right now. Holy cow. 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks involved. Looks like all these guys are going to be going into backup trucks right here. So we're starting off with big action. Holy cow. Super excited. 100 laps tonight. And we have a special Grand Marshal for this evening, dropping the green flag. That should be about 9:05 Eastern, so make sure to stick around for that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If you saw on Twitter, we will be having the one, the only, the driver of the number 21 Wood Brothers Ford Mustang in the Cup Series, Matt, I call him D Burrito, but Matt DiBenedetto. He'll be coming on here to give us the command to go green in the first ever NNR iRacing Truck Series race here at Daytona. Like I said, I cannot be more excited for tonight's action. It's been a build up to this, and now we're finally here with it.
Absolutely. So for those of you guys watching out there in Twitch land, big hello to all of you. I think we should have a competition tonight, Expert. Every time one of us butchers somebody's name, there should be a little tick mark there, and whoever wins at the end with the accurate score, for those of you scoring at home, might win a prize or something. I don't know. I don't have anything to give away over here. You got anything? You got any giveaways?
I might find out something. We'll see what we have. I mean,
I'm looking around over here in the booth, and I'm not seeing anything worth giving away. I've got a bottle of water, I guess. I don't think anybody wants that, though.
I don't know. Maybe, let's see. Can we get a Dr. Pepper cherry, maybe?
Ooh, the Dr. Pepper cherry. So we got some guys rolling off pit road here. Looks like the 95 Nicholas Vroman and Cowboy rolling off here. Tyndall's going to be rolling off, so looks like I got a little pack forming up here. About 25 minutes left in practice. You can see it up there on the timer on the top of the screen, that big green bar with 25:19 on it as I speak. That's the timer left in practice. Then we're going to be going into qualifying. Then, as Expert just mentioned, Matt DiBenedetto going to be the Grand Marshal and getting us started here tonight. So for our 100 laps here at Daytona, the World Center of Racing.
And right here in chat right now, Carol's already coming after me, saying to get it together. Carol, come on, man, come on. he said we might actually end up talking to Carol tonight. He might get pulled in here, whether he's on track or not. He may be on track. He may not. Let's actually see if he's on track.
Let's see if I can find him here. What number is he? I don't have my master list up. Dang. Let's see.
It's going to be number 92.
Number 92. Oh.
Yeah, he's off track, so he's going to get pulled in here real quick. Yeah, let's see. He wants to talk out in chat. Let's see if we can pull in the broadcaster.
Yeah.
Carol.
Yo.
This is, of course, Expert and Blair up in the booth. So I'm guessing you have a copy, but.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Of course, you're parked down there on pit road. Tonight has been the build-up. You've been here pretty much since day one. So tonight's the build-up for you. All that hard work and everything that you and the rest of the field have put in tonight. You got your group of guys that you're going to be racing with and going to be streaming with. So what is the outlook? What can we expect of that 92 team tonight?
Turn these guys. Feedback through the sim. For me, start of the race, I mean, I'm gonna qualify, of course. You know, hopefully I can get a good spot for pit stall and everything. But I'm gonna drop probably to the back and start off there and play it safe. Hopefully, it stays calm back there. I've in the past with NNR, you know, being up there in the front, I've gotten up there in the messes and everything else. Everybody's trying to get the lead. Everybody's trying to control the field, and end up wrecked. So we're definitely going to play it safe to start, but definitely going to try our best to be at the end.
Well, definitely. We hope to see you there. We know that you made it exciting yesterday in the happy hour practice that we test streamed last night. And I know that you're going to be the got to make it exciting today. We talked about you being the quote unquote trigger man when it comes to moves. So go out there, make a few moves for us, and make it exciting. We know you'll do good.
Oh yeah, I plan on. Hope y'all enjoy, man. Hope we put on a great show for you and the viewers and everybody. And Blair, expert, have fun, y'all. It should be an exciting one.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Hey, what lap are you going to be making your move? That way I make sure I have the camera on
yeah. I'm gonna save it for maybe between 15 and 10 to go. You know,
right.
if I'm in the position to do it, and it's just going to depend on who I got behind me. If I got Paul Irvin, the 9 truck behind me, you best believe I'm taking him 3 wide. Me and him, in all the practices, we got lined up together, and it was just, we've been racing together for years, even back on console. It was like we never missed a beat. So it was a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun working with quite a few guys. And it's going to be exciting. I'm gonna work with anybody that'll work with me. So.
Well, definitely, it's nice to hear from you. Good luck tonight. We're going to put you back in your Carl-only chat so you can get ready to head out for qualifying and practice here in a little bit. So, yeah, good luck to you, and, yeah, we're going to send you back.
All right, thanks, guys.
Always nice to talk to some of the drivers before the race. We're going to try to pull a few more in here before qualifying begins here in drivers meeting as these guys look to get underway here. But you can see these guys having a lot of fun in practice. Just it's turned from practice to a demolition derby for some of these guys, but it's all the fun that we're having tonight.
Oh, absolutely. These guys are out there, and this is the time to learn all of the things. When and where you can push a guy, how to push the guy, how hard to push the guy. All of those things you can learn right now. Not going to cost you anything. We still got about 21 minutes left to practice before qualifying, so if you're going to learn, right now is the time to do it.
And certainly, and one thing I talked to you about, Blair, is tonight we want fan interaction. Tonight we have 26 people out there viewing the stream right now, and we're going to get a poll set up for the guys out there in chat. In this poll, let's see, go ahead and give us a poll to put out there. Let's see, what can we get these people already interested in here in practice?
Let's see, how many options do we get on the poll here?
Right here, we get 5.
5. All right. Well, let's go with what manufacturer is going to win this thing. Is it going to be
a
Chevy, a Ford, or a Toyota?
All right, let me get that typed in here real quick and get all this set up for the people out there in chat.
While you got that rocking and rolling up on the top scroll there, we've got all the different manufacturer badges showing. You can see that this is a heavy Chevy field right now. Not trying to influence anybody's votes, because right now, just looking at top 5 speeds, every manufacturer is represented in the top 5. Chevy's so far the fastest, then a Ford, then a Chevy, the Toyota of Roman in the 95, and then Robertson's Ford coming in 5th fastest on the sheet right now. So I think that's a good question. Could be any manufacturer's race at this point.
It really can be. I mean, a Toyota won the happy hour race. Shout out to Matt Cochran, as he was able to win that race last night. And that poll is being sent out right now. So if you're out there in chat, go ahead and drop your vote. Who's going to be winning tonight? What manufacturer is winning? Ford got a vote just within the second of me putting it out there.
Ford fans coming in strong, representing that blue oval right there. Man, I don't even know who I'd vote for.
Cole 315, thank you for the follow, by the way. He just followed. And right now, Chevy's making a comeback. 2 votes already in the poll. So right now, Ford and Chevy's going to be battling it out. But once again, while we have you out here in chat, be sure to go check out our headline sponsor, morethanAcape.org. We're going to be showing you a video here in a little bit about More Than a Cape, but go ahead and check them out either during the race if you can open up another tab, or after the race. Go check them out, show them the love and support. Also check out One Mind to Design as well, another headline sponsor of the series. So keep that in mind. Keep those guys in mind as we keep it rolling here. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow. Every follow helps. Speaking of follows, Ripcord 1989. Thank you for the follow as well.
Hey, welcome to all the new followers. Appreciate everybody coming. For everybody watching right now, make sure to share this to all your social medias. Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you got. Reddit, your TikTok, your Snapchat. What am I missing? Did I get them all? Did I get them all?
You said MySpace, so that was a little bit of a throwback.
Hey, I don't. If you still have MySpace, share it there. That Tom wants to see it. Everybody's friend.
I was about to say, go back. Let's go back into centuries before. Send a messenger pigeon. I mean, come on.
Maybe
Gotta go all out here.
Maybe an AOL instant message. You never know.
Something like that,
Whatever you got.
Yeah. If you want to be more formal, we got email.
Yeah. Share it all around. Tell your mom and them that we're going to be racing trucks in Daytona here in just a little bit.
Oh, Lord. Speaking of Daytona, a guy that's going to hopefully be going down with us when we head down in August. I'm going to be heading down there trying to do a blog for all of the Expert Racing Network fans. Let's see if we can pull our good old buddy Repeat in here. Let's see if we can talk to him. Repeat, it's Expert and Blair up in the booth. Got me?
I got you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. It's kind of nerve-wracking being up here in the booth. It's a lot of nerves, and I know it's a lot of nerves for y'all down there on the track getting ready for tonight. About 16 minutes left in practice, and then you have the drivers meeting and qualifying. Of course, we see you out there on the track in that beautiful number 8 Rep Sports Chevrolet, I believe. What can we expect from you here tonight, and do you think you have what it takes to go out here and win it?
Man, I'm absolutely gonna try right now, sitting behind this number 12 of Joe Darnell's, kind of pushing him through 3 and 4. And man, I think tonight you're gonna see one hell of a show so far in practice. We've tested everything, 2, 3, sometimes almost 4 wide, which is crazy at Daytona. But man, you think about last night's practice stream where there were only 5 or 6 of us at the very end, and we put on one hell of a show for that. I think you're going to see that times about 3 or 4. Y'all better buckle up there, because we sure as hell are.
And definitely looking at you right now, I mean, I'm excited for you. We saw the happy hour stream last night, in which you put on an impressive performance as well. So good luck all the way around. And we called you all the time when we were over on the heat side or whatnot. We called you one of the best broadcasters on there. So while a lot of people have been giving you advice on iRacing and getting you up to speed over here, what is some advice that you can give me and Blair right before this big broadcast? Go ahead.
For the broadcast or on track, sir?
Both. I mean, give us some advice.
The best advice I can give you, man, is just remember that the guys out here are the ones putting on the show. You guys are just lucky enough to be able to talk about it and call a great race. You keep up the energy, keep up the enthusiasm, keep up the action, and the rest will come easy. I'm looking forward to going back and watching the stream a little bit later on.
Definitely. Well, good luck to you once again. Blair, do you have any questions for good old Repeat?
Yeah, Pete, what's the key to winning this thing tonight? You going to try to be up front leading laps, or you going to be trying to hang in the back and save your stuff till the end?
Man, I don't know. That's an awesome question. I've asked a couple people what they plan on doing tonight, and nobody is extremely sure. Just like they say at super speedway races, everybody's your friend until the green flag drops. So we'll have to see. I got a good buddy of mine, HD Motorsports, that's going to be out here with me for the very first time on track. Hopefully at some point we can hook up and maybe kind of stay to the back a little bit until it's time to go. I don't recall whether everybody's got some fast repairs or not. So it's going to be a great time. But I do know that if you get wrecked out here and there's no fast repairs, I told HD, and I think I told you, Expert, a little bit ago in pre-race that I wasn't gonna back out. I wasn't gonna quit unless I got like 2 or 3 hours worth of damage, which is gonna be a hellacious wreck either way. I'm gonna stick with it all night long and try to be up there at the front when it really matters.
Well, definitely. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch you. I think before we get you in trouble, we're going to have to send you to General for the drivers' meeting. So we're going to go ahead and send you out there. But good luck once again and have a lot of fun tonight, man.
You too, man. Keep cool. Have a great stream, and hopefully I'm talking to you as part of the top 3 later on.
Yeah, definitely. All right, sending him back real quick. We don't want to get him in trouble. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. It's our first night. We can't be doing this, Blair.
No, not on the first night. Not on the opening night of the series here from Daytona. if we're gonna get people in trouble, let's at least wait a week, maybe 2, maybe 3. You never know.
Give us some job security first.
Exactly. Doesn't look
Right
like
here.
anybody's on track right now. I'm looking around trying to find some on-track action, but it looks like all these guys are heading to the drivers' meeting right now.
Yeah, right now, and also as these guys head to the drivers' meeting, let's head to the chat right here. Matt040404, he's now following here. Thank you once again. And it looks like we still have a little bit on this poll, but Chevy is winning with an outstanding lead right now. 67% of the votes out there in the poll so far. Rock NASCAR also showing up. Good old Marty, as we love to call him. Best of luck to all the drivers tonight. Well, thank you, Rock, for tuning in. Master Killer out there saying, hey, Expert, what's up, Master? How you doing, man? All these guys out here in chat. If you haven't already, be sure to follow. Be sure to share. And I talked about that video of More Than a Cape. We're going to see if we can play that right now as these guys are in the drivers' meeting. We'll be right back.
All right, and we're back. Hopefully that video, everybody got to see, learn what More Than a Cape is all about. Go over there, check out their website. We also have got a little Daytona preview video, little hype video that we can play pre-race. I don't know how long this driver's meeting typically lasts, Expert. Should we roll that right now, or should we give it a couple minutes?
I think let's go ahead and roll it. Give our fans a little bit of hype video while these guys are still discussing about tonight's race. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and check out this hype video.
All right, let's get it going. Man, if that doesn't get you excited for racing, I don't know what does. Man, these guys over here at this NNR No Name Racing League, these guys do such a great job with all their videos and everything to make this broadcast look so good. I'm so excited to be here tonight. So excited for this thing to get going. We got about 9.5 minutes left till qualifying starts, so these guys are having their drivers meeting. So for those of you guys out there in chat that doesn't know what goes on in drivers meetings here on iRacing, so basically what's going to be going on right now is the admins of the league and the league owner, Jim Coey, is going to be going over all the rules, all the procedures, how everything's going to be going down for tonight and probably the rest of this 22-week season. So everybody's on the same page. There's a rule book that everybody should have read by now. As a driver, I don't ever read the rule book. I wait for the drivers meeting and go, oh, okay. And then if I get caught doing something wrong, I always go, oh, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. So, but that's what's going on right now. Hey, that's the move I make. That's the move.
I mean, it works. It works, though. You use it multiple times. Hey, it ends up working. Do it all over again.
Yeah, I just throw my hands up. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I'm sorry. I apologize. But
see, the only time that doesn't work is if you've been in there for like 2 seasons and they're just going to look at you like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's hard to get away with it. So here in this league, the guys with the, we'll see them on track. The guys with the yellow banner across the front of their windshield. Let's see if I can get something on camera here to communicate. Hey, there's a good look at it. So the guys with the yellow banner across the windshield, those guys are the rookies. They'll have a rookie stripe on the back. Those guys are all new to the league. And then the guys like right here in the foreground, we got the 95 of Roman. He's got the blue banner across the front. Those guys are the veterans. Those are the guys that have raced here before. And so these are the guys that won't be able to get away with the, oh, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. So the guys in the yellow, watch out for them.
Yeah, they're going to be the one to test the waters a little bit more, which is going to make it more exciting for us. And what's very exciting right now, the 31 viewers out there in chat, be sure to follow if you haven't already. Be sure as well to share out the stream and just let everyone know what's going on. This is the debut of the NNR iRacing Truck Series, sponsored by TJ's Team Foundation and One Mind to Design. So, guys, be sure, we got 7 minutes left in practice, drivers meeting, whatnot, before these guys are able to head out to qualifying. And, of course, you see everybody out there in chat, NNR Cowboys saying good luck to everyone. Irvin out there saying let's go. So right now you can see the hype is getting real for these drivers. We were excited. I told you before, I was kind of shaken before we started up this live stream to go green here tonight. It's very exciting to see all this hard work of all these great people finally come full circle, and we get to see the great action that NNR is going to be putting on tonight. Remember, this is their first actual broadcasted race, the longest season that they have ever done on iRacing. They did a 6-week season, then they did an 11-week season, all in preparation to get to this point. So these guys, they are ready. They've worked so hard to get to this point, and you know, I know we're not the only ones that's kind of flustered and excited about tonight's race.
Oh yeah, so these drivers, you know, they know they're strapping up for a 100-lap race right now. So you know, they're kind of chilling right now with the drivers meeting, getting a drink of water, going to the bathroom, trying to keep those butterflies down. Daytona being the first race, there's always a ton of excitement, plus all the preparation that's gone into all this by all these drivers. So you know what these guys need to do is they just need to take a deep breath, relax, get some water, and just let it ride. 100 laps is a long race.
And it definitely is. We're going to expect to see these guys kind of ride around a little bit, trying to get their wits about them. So don't expect these guys to be going 100% throughout the race, but it's still going to be great action. You know, these guys are going to battle it out. And of course, we have different teams that are going to be set up in here. One guy that messaged me earlier with an amazing team. He originally is known for his J-Paul Militia. However, he's going to be racing for Cold Dog Racing tonight. Giving a shout out to Josh Arnold, Cole Snyder, Enrique. I'm not going to be able to say his last name, but you were better at it than I was. Enrique, remind me of the pronunciation.
Let's get it. Quinones.
Okay, there we go. Giovanni Klein, Zach Meredith, and of course Josh Arnold, like I mentioned, and Justin Quimby, I believe that's how you say it. Quimby, and maybe Quimby.
I'm going with Quimby. I'm going with Quimby.
It may be that. But those guys are all part of Cold Dog Racing. So shout out to those guys. And Master already out there in chat saying, go Cold Dog Racing. So see, we already got a fan. Of the team out there in chat. But right here, so many guys have already followed in the past few minutes. So got to give them a shout out. Onyx Dragon 37, shout out to you. Blair, you were able to go out and chat and follow, so thank you for that. And then McQuaid 7782, thank you for the follow as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking along there, having a good chat. I grabbed up the old cell phone, fired up the old Twitcher, went right in there, bing, bang, boom. That's how easy it is to follow, guys. I'm over here co-broadcasting with Expert, and I still figured it out, so it's not that hard. Hit the follow button.
About to say, definitely thank you for that, though. Cheeseburger the Third, the newest follower of the Expert Racing community. Thank you very much, my friend. What? Now up to 43 viewers in chat. Thank you once again, and I believe those guys just got released from the drivers' meeting, so expect qualifying to be kicking off here in just a few seconds.
Yep, we got a little on-track action right now. Looks like that 38 machine's out there making a lap. doing a little shakedown. So looks like the 21 James Litzenberger, he's also rolling off pit road right now. I love this paint scheme on Litzenberger's truck. This Ford Menards truck. What a great looking truck.
Definitely. You got to love all the paint schemes, the hard work that these drivers have not only put in on track, but off the track as well in designing some of these cars. Also got to shout out our league designer and our league sponsor, One Mind to Design, as they've designed a handful of these trucks as well. So shout out to both your drivers and One Mind to Design for the trucks they've created here tonight.
I think I got a new favorite driver. I think Matthew Boone is going to be my pick for the win tonight. We haven't got our broadcaster picks in for the win tonight. I'm going with Matthew Boone. I just saw on the driver information bar, he's from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, which I grew up in Wisconsin. So I'm going to go with the big cheese boy right here, Matthew Boone in that 38.
About to say, it works. It works. Go ahead, our good friend, a.k.a. NNR Bowling, that's his name, that he is most known for. But Matthew Boone, a good selection here tonight. I'm going to have to go and go ahead, make fun of me or whatnot. But I got to go with the guy who was the man that won the happy hour race. I got to go with Matt Cochran. I mean, he showed his skill last night to be able to avoid incidents, put himself in the right place at the right time. And when it comes to these type of tracks, that's exactly what you need.
That's a super, super strong pick. Can't go wrong with the guy that just won here last night in the warm-up race. Super great pick. Looks like we've got 32 drivers that have taken time so far in this practice. So we're going to have a full field, great racing excitement all night long. About a minute and a half until qualifying starts. I'm so excited right now.
And right now, these guys, with their qualifying session, they're going to get a 5-minute qualifying session. So if you want to be honest, we're around less or just over 6 minutes away from these guys getting on track to pace around and take us to the green flag. I mean, the countdown is literally beginning for these guys.
Yeah, getting the season opener right here it is. You know, Pete touched on it a little bit earlier that even if he's got damage, you know, he's sticking around to get back out there and get on the track. And that's key when it comes to points racing here. So, you know, wins are important, but when you're looking at a 22-week season here, Expert, getting every point you can get and every place you can get and finishing this race no matter what is going to be key for all these guys.
And right here, Wrong Way is actually going to be the newest follower to the Expert Racing community. Thank you once again. And right now, please take down Cochran's picture. He is on too many milk cartons. More than a cape, you better behave out there in chat.
I had to get him on the screen, get him off of the screen there. We were starting to get a little bit of issues with the broadcast. Way too much of his face on there.
Lordy. We're going to be in too much trouble by the end of the night. The race hasn't even started, and we're starting to stir up some trouble.
Yeah, there's a good chance, folks, that this might be our last race together, but we're going to make it a really good time. So hope everybody out there in chat's having fun.
Well, right now, these guys are already showing out a lot of great racing, but practice has just concluded. Now we're going to be switching over to the 5-minute qualifying session for these guys before we get to the actual race where these guys are going to be lined up and whatnot. So it's going to be I'm just nervous here. I'm already getting speechless about how close we are getting. And, of course, we still have the big surprise of Matt DiBenedetto being our Grand Marshal of tonight. It got announced earlier today. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot left in store. So if you're out there in chat, one of the 42 viewers, if you haven't done it already, be sure to follow, be sure to share. Let everyone know. Let your grandma know. Let your next door neighbor know. Cowboy did it. But let everyone know that, hey, we are live here on Twitch on the XR Network. Expert Racing Joshua Franks alongside Blair Patterson Racing here for the debut of the NNR iRacing Truck Series at Daytona, presented by TJ's Team Foundation and sponsored by One Mind to Design. So be sure to keep that circulating around. Be sure to let everyone know, and be sure to follow if you haven't already. D-Trade saying, let's do this. Yes, the big man behind One Mind to Design right there. That's old D-Trade. Go hit him up after tonight's race for any graphic needs, any of the paint schemes that you see out here. I'm sure he could, if he didn't make it, I'm sure he can make something like it, because he's very talented when it comes to these paint schemes as well. So be sure to hit him up as well. But I mean, the tension's building. A lot of guys going out there for their qualifying runs, and it's going to be fun to watch and see how this field stacks up.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're watching Matthew Boone on his qualifying lap. Over on the right side of the screen there, you've got the weather information up. In sim, it is 66 degrees out there. Track temp 68 degrees, so it's going to be nice and cool. One thing that you got to pay attention on these super speedways is when you're tucked up in behind somebody and drafting, you got to pay attention to your temperatures. But the really good news, it's a nice cool night here in the virtual Daytona International Speedway for these drivers.
Certainly, and right now, Repeat, he's going to be live with our onboard, so I'm going to have that pulled up just in case, just so we can have an idea of what these guys are going to be seeing here tonight. A lot of excitement being built up, and I believe the 38 of Boone, he might be nearly done with his qualifying time. Ran a 52.8 the first time around. Let's see what he comes back with this time around.
Yep, Boone's taking time. We're going to take a look at Meredith right here. Meredith right now on the pole ran a 52.09 in that number 17 machine. So we're going to get him a little bit of screen time right here. See his second lap, see what this improves to. Anagasok just moves to the top of the sheet there, running a 52.08. Shiro now to the top of the sheet at 52.07. So the top three, we got a 52.07, a 52.08, and a 52.09 right now on top speeds. This is incredible right here.
Certainly, and a lot of guys still left to qualify. Only 16 have qualified and put down their laps so far. Still expecting we're still expecting, I believe, anywhere between 30 to 32 drivers in total. So still another 16 or so left to qualify out here tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're trying to find somebody on track right now. Here we go. We have found Enrique Quinones out of New Jersey in that number 98 Ford. Taking a look at Enrique's lap right now. Looks like he comes to the stripe. Let's see what he puts down. 52.14. That ties him for 10th place. He's going to get bumped back to 12th now. Shiro in that 33 machine in that Chevrolet still sitting on the top. What's that poll looking like, by the way, on who's going to win this thing?
Right now, I see Shiro still up there. Josh Arnold out there on track. He might come close. He's only he's about a half a tenth off. He's on his second lap right now. So let's see. He moved up to 8th on his first lap. Let's see what this second lap looks like.
Yeah, if he could run a 06, that gets him the pole. So these guys are all super, super close right here. Here he comes off turn 4 for a time on his second lap here. Let's see what he puts in. Bumps him up the speed chart. And waiting for iRacing to update.
He's going to stay there at 8th. His fastest lap was the first one at 52.119.
119. Man, what a good lap. What a good lap. These guys are all...
And the rest of these guys that did not qualify, they're going to line up in their original position. So that kind of shows you some of their strategy to go ahead. Anybody 16th on back said, hey, we're going to chill out in the back and we're going to wait to see what happens. So right now these guys are lining up for race time. And it's about here. I think right now we have a special guest. I think our producer's coming in. I think we have a special guest that has an announcement to make. Let's check it out. Hold on.
Yep, I've got it right here in my ear. Let's go right to Matt DiBenedetto for the start of the race.
Hey everybody in the No Name Racing League. This is Matt DiBenedetto, driver of the 21 car. Ironically, I'm sitting here on my simulator about to play some iRacing myself. Run in Nashville before we fly out there. So anyways, wanted to wish you guys all best luck in your first race, and also, most importantly, got to give you all the commands so you can get on going. So get ready, and drivers, start them engines.
Well, big shout out to Matty D for getting us going here as everybody's gridding up for this start of this 100-lapper right here. We got a Chevrolet on the pole. of Shiro. Let's see if we can get these qualifying results to pop up here in a little bit nicer fashion. I had a graphic for this at one point. Hey, look at that. Still have the graphic. So on the pole, we got Shiro. Second, we've got Anna Sagak. Third, we have Meredith. Fourth, we have Roman. Fifth is going to be rolling off Matt Cochran. Cowboy's going to be rolling off their fifth. Pete's going to be rolling off sixth. Seventh is going to be Bain. Eighth is going to be Arnold. Ninth is going to be Robertson. 10th is going to be Kobe. 11th will be another Shiro. T-Shiro. We have two Shiros. How did we do that? 12, we have Enrique Canones. And then from there on back, let's see if we can get this to scroll. Hey, we're not going to get it to scroll. Okay. All right. That's what we got.
Well, to give you the rest of it, it's going to be Cardwell 13th, Klein in 14th, McQuaid 15th, Quimby 16th, Boone 17th, Irvin 18th, Horn 19th, Litzenberger 20th, Drew Trader 21st, Forrest Smith 22nd, Lewis Jr. 23rd, Tyndall 24th, Hyatt is going to be in 25th, Groves 26th, Crodell in 27th, Darnell 28th, Dilt in 29th, Coe in 30th, and 31st is going to be Litzenberger. Nick Trader is going to be in 32nd. Carroll is bouncing up and down, so it's going to be interesting to see where they try to line him up. Boehner is going to be 33rd right now. It's showing me with Burt sitting 34th, so it looks like we have a field of about 34. It looks like, actually, correction, Nick Trader is going to be the end of it with a field of 32.
Excellent. Great job running that down there for us, expert. Here we go. These guys are all getting ready. All the nerves are coming to a head right here for 100 laps at the World Center of Racing right here. We're getting ready to come to the green flag, guys. I hope, chat, I hope you're all ready, because this is going to be a great 100 laps.
And right here, these guys getting set up. The lights are off on the pace truck, it looks like. So we're going to be set to go green here already at the beginning. A lot of fun for these guys. And here we go. The pace truck pulls off. And for the first time in NNR history, we are green here on iRacing.
Green flag in the air. Everybody off to a really good start. 2x2 all the way back. Probably 16 rows of it. Everybody in line, minding their P's and Q's, learning where they need to be, and just taking it real easy here on this first lap. It's too early to make any moves and tear anything up, but looks like the bottom line's got a little bit of a run right now as they head down the backstretch.
And that bottom line more organized than the top right now. But here comes that 95 and 18 pushing on the top. They got the 8 of Pete Ruzick. He's going to be up top with them as well. As you can see, Josh Arnold and a bunch of those guys. It looks like that high line's really coming well together.
Yeah, that high line is really starting to get together. They're really starting to roll up there. That 18, that 95, that 8, they're all working really well together. You see that gap between the 17 and the 16 on the bottom line? That's going to stall that bottom line out a little bit. For that bottom line to get that big shove, that 16 is going to need to close the gap just a touch to keep that bottom line ahead.
And right here you can see, I believe that bottom line is really closed up. And Shiro, he's going to be able to move out to the front. It looks like he's going to be able to be clear enough, but that 18 and 95 is going to push back here on the back straightaway. Still side by side for the lead. None of these guys wanting to give an edge here as we are on lap 2 of 100.
Now that 17 tucked well in behind of that 33. We go back through the field to see if there's any more racing action back here. As the 18 drops down to the bottom line, he takes the lead away. 33 moves back to the top. Let's move back up here to the lead. They're moving around up here at the front.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys towards the back, they mentioned before that they didn't want to be racing around. Well, these guys, they are wasting no time showing their moves and showing the deck of cards that they have with tonight. As the 33 says, in one corner and one straightaway, he takes that lead right back as he clears that 18, 33 back to the point.
Absolutely. Now let's see if it's going to be the 95's turn to get that top line rolling. As soon as I say that, the 18 moves up there to cover the hole. 18, 95, and 8 on the top side. Got the 33, the 16, or 33, 17 rather, on the bottom as the 18 comes back to the bottom.
And here we go. What a close block right there. What a move from him as well. But you can see that high line, it's starting to fall apart Still got the top 3 guys out there of the 95, the 8, and the 16, all trying to build runs, but it doesn't look like it's going to do much for them without any major help. Of course, there's still the gaps on the bottom. That 95 still holding tough, though, on the high side, still side by side with the lead.
Yeah, he's lost his dance partner of the 8. The 8 can't get back in line right now, otherwise he's going to turn him hard into the outside wall. 95 gets ahead just a little bit. 8 tucks back in line, so you got the 95, the 8, the 16 up on the top side, the 18, the 33, and the 17 on the bottom side. These guys are moving around, juking and jiving for position here on lap 4 of 100.
And right now we're going to have a lap truck dead ahead of these guys. Not sure if it was already an incident that had happened in the back of the pack, or if it was just somebody that couldn't stay with the speed, just lost the draft already. But we have a truck that's going to be dead ahead of these guys, and that could cause some issues already here on lap 5 as these guys approach lap traffic.
Yeah, so the most important thing for a lap vehicle here at Daytona is pick a line that you're going to be on, either the top side or the bottom side. If I was a leader, I would hope they picked the top side, but they have to pick a spot and just hold it. Looks like the 69's doing a great job holding himself way up high there. All these guys will go 3 wide here to pass the 69, going a lap down.
And the 95 and the 8 took advantage of the draft they got off of him, and they're going to be able to rocket ship straight to the front. New leader, it's going to be the 95 of Roman.
95 of Roman gets out front, leading some laps here tonight, looking good in that HD Motorsports Toyota out there. So we've got Toyota, Chevy right now is how they're running. So everybody out there in the chat with their votes on who's going to win this thing, we've got a little bit of everything for you.
Yeah, and Chevy, of course, run the pole. We're going to see and check back on that at the end of tonight's race. But right now, just to get a little information for these fans out here, if you're not the biggest time racing fans, which of course, if you're tuning in and you're not, we're glad to have you. But of course, it's always expected that possibly you got to our channel from being a fan of racing. But the gaps in speed, if you're noticing on the ticker right now that we have as far as SDK, right now I'm seeing about an 8-mile-per-hour gap in speed from the guys leading the pack and the guys in the draft all the way at the rear of the field. So that shows you how much this draft can help you in building up a run. A 8-mile-per-hour difference between some of these guys down the straightaways.
Absolutely, and these guys are working real hard to stay out front. This 95 and 8, they're commanding the bottom line right now. Topside starting to get some help. They got the 18 up there. They got the 33 up there. 8 goes up the block. 95 goes to block with him. 95 has to get back down. 8 to the top side. He's got a big push coming from the 18.
Yeah, and right now that's going to be our good friend Pete Ruzick. He's going to be up to the high side, and he's getting that one heck of a push. Let's see, that high side looks like it may be a lot more organized now. That may be the place to be as we continue on here, coming to 8 laps into this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Still super early in this race, but the top side looks like they're organizing it really, really well, getting really big runs up there. Bottom side, they can tighten up just a little bit to help them out, but then again, there's nowhere to go when you start looking at, drivers like in the 64 and the 22 there on that bottom side. They don't really have anywhere to go. They're probably happy just riding there. They've got a little bit of cushion in case anything crazy happens in front of them. A little juking and jiving in the back here. Guys diving from the top to the bottom, left somebody hanging out to dry on the top side way back in the back.
And right here, I'm actually going to go back, and a guy that we said, or at least I said, was going to be a guy to look out for here tonight, the winner of Happy Hour. Let's go back to him and catch these guys at the back of the pack. It's going to be the 19 of NNR Cowboy, and you can see these guys that have just drifted off from this lead pack back here. You can see the difference in strategy for a lot of these guys, that they have just decided, hey, it is not the time to do anything. Let's just stay back here and ride along. We knew that was going to be a part of the strategy, but you can see a lot of these guys trying to take that approach, and expect one of these guys to possibly be the winner here tonight, especially trying to play this conservative game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's back here. Looks like he's running in 29th place right now. Just back here biding his time. If you see these gaps in between him, in front of him and the car behind him, or the truck rather, he's just got a nice little cushion here. He's staying with the draft. He's playing a really smart play early on in the race. This is the move that you're going to see a lot of guys making back here, and then moving towards the front later on.
Yeah, of course, but let's go back to the lead here as I see a lot of changeover, it looks like, with our overall leaders right now. As the 95, he's trying to battle back, and this bottom line, it looks like it's getting pretty organized. A lot of guys getting tucked near each other.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Vroman there on the bottom. Meredith was on the bottom. He looked to the top side, thought better of it, got right back in line with Vroman there in that 17 machine. Top side still's got Pete up there on the top leading point. Really great racing action here so far. 10 laps into this thing, coming to lap 11.
Exactly, and these guys staying side by side, and it just shows. Me and Pete used to always talk about it all the time on the console side, but these guys really spent a lot of time with driver development, trying to get guys accustomed to racing with each other and what type of driver etiquette they expect out of guys that they bring in here, and we're seeing it right now. These guys are racing. I mean, we've seen some fierce moves already happen, but these guys have been able to hang on to it and be able to create some great racing action. We're only 11 laps in, and these guys are still side by side.
Yeah, that's a huge shout out to all these drivers out here and all the admins and Jim Coey, the league owner here. It just says a lot for the community that they've built over here at NNR. You know, a lot of times on these iRacing deals, you'll be looking at a Daytona race 11 laps into it. You'd already be on your second, maybe even third caution. But these guys are running green the whole time, showing a lot of respect, knowing what moves to make. These drivers are just playing it real heads up right now.
And they certainly are. As we remain side by side, though, a lot of guys that have mentioned that, hey, you know, this is not going to be the time to make moves. Right now, I'm going to ask you, we talked about it a lot during happy hour about how you've had a history in leagues and stuff like that. You've raced against some of the top names in iRacing and even in real life racing. What's your idea? If you're one of these drivers up here in this front pack, what are you trying to do here on lap 12 of 100 to try to keep yourself in the best interest, try to put yourself in the best position to be there on lap 99 or lap 100?
Right now, the biggest thing that I'd be thinking about if I was, you know, as long as I'm not the 95 or the 8, if I'm any other two drivers than those, what I'm thinking about is just who holds a line with me really well. When I push him, how well does he take that push? Where are the places I could push the guy in front of me well? The guy behind me, is he tracking me in line? Is he doing a really good job? It's all about, on lap 13, it's all about give and take right now and showing a ton of respect, because you're going to need a dance partner at the end of this thing with this draft to help you out. So you see the 95 and the 17 get out to a lead. 17 ditches the 95. He wants to see how fast that 17 is out there in clean air. Going to get a big push from Pete right here.
And right here, you can see the transition, that 18 having to back off the 8's bumper. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. When it comes to plate racing, especially on iRacing, these trucks can get extremely loose, especially whenever these guys get lined up with each other. Right now, these guys still pushing each other, but whenever you get to the third, fourth truck in line, it's really hard to be able to maintain a push and keep these trucks stable. So you notice a lot of times you'll see these third trucks in line back off, and it's just the front two guys of each row trying to push each other and keep the momentum up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's an old saying in iRacing, especially when it comes to plate racing, it's don't push the pusher. So if you're third in line, like you're the number 33 of Cheryl right here, and the 95 and the 64 are hooked up, he's doing a smart move right here by hanging off the tail of them and not pushing that 64 of Robertson up there into the back of the 95, because that's just going to get Robertson loose, which will get the 95 of Roman loose, which will cause the big one. So good heads-up driving by these guys. They are putting on a heck of a show for you. I hope you're all appreciating what you're seeing right here.
Yeah, and shout out to the 17 of Zach Meredith. He takes the lead now as he takes the lead of the inside line, but do not sleep. Here comes the 8 and the 18 with a huge push to get a run here on the high side. Here they come battling back.
Speaking of that push, it looks like the 8 might have got just a little bit loose and lost a little bit of momentum from that push from the 18. They've got it all collected back up, of course, and still rolling on that high side. This high side is moving.
Definitely these guys still battling back here, and you can see all of these guys still trying to hold their lines as best we can. Right now, that single file action throughout the field, though, it looks like we're about 8 rows, about 9 rows maybe deep as far as this side-by-side action. The rest of the field, though, holding it single file in. Does that provide any type of advantage? If you're one of these guys that are holding single file behind this 9-row group of cars. What type of advantage or possibly maybe even disadvantage does that give to you as we continue on here with 16 laps into this race?
Well, early on in this race, being back there in the draft in that single file lane back there, one of the advantages that it gives you is it helps you save a little bit of fuel. These guys out here on point, you know, the 95, the 8, the 17, the 18, you know, all these guys that we've seen out here on point, they're using a little bit more fuel, which, crazy enough, to talk about fuel strategy here at Daytona, it does come into play a lot of times. But these guys back here are going to be saving just a little bit more, which might help them out in the long run by a little bit less time on pit road if we, in fact, do get green flag pit stops.
And right here, that high side, it looks like it may be fading away a little bit. Right now, you're more experienced here. What do you think the fuel run might be here for these guys here as we continue on at Daytona? Do you have an idea? Do you have a guesstimate on when we can see these guys possibly start heading down?
You know, expert, I was really hoping you weren't going to ask that after I mentioned fuel, because I thought, wow, you big dummy. Next thing you know, he's going to ask, what do you think we're going to get? And I don't even have a guess. I didn't read the rule book. A lot of different leagues run a lot of different fuel strategies. Like, for example, some leagues run 100% fuel. Some leagues run 75% fuel just to promote more pit stops. Like we talked about in the pre-race, I'm not a rule book reader, so I don't even have a guess of what these guys are going to be getting for fuel economy here tonight.
Well, right now, I'm going to see if I can, I can try to find this out for us real quick. I'm going to scroll through here on the SDK and see if I can't find this out.
Yeah,
Hopefully I can.
You never know. We might be able to find the information. But I'm going to roll us through the field here real quick. We got Broman out here on point. Then Meredith. I'll try to get everybody on here just a little bit. There's the 18. Anasigic. Then we got the 64, Robertson. We've talked about him a few times. He's been just riding there in that third spot on the bottom side there for, feels like about 8 laps now. Just biding his time, rolling on. Great looking paint scheme on that 64, by the way. A lot of really good paint schemes out here. And as we head back through the field, here we find our pole sitter, Shiro, currently being scored in 6th. Down here on the bottom side, looking good. Got Bane in that
right
16
here.
truck. Go ahead.
Right here, we're gonna see this highline starting to fade off. I see it a lot more now. It looks like some of these guys towards the back of this highline, they're looking for places to try to fit in there on the bottom. So here comes some team communications. Where can you find the hole?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, when these, oh boy, little bump up front. The 8 got a little bit squirrely from that bump from the 18. Everybody's okay up here at the front, but you know, when finding this hole, you got to rely on your spotters. You got to rely on teammates. Guys, get you a break if you want to get down, because you know eventually these guys are going to have to pit. We're not really sure on the fuel window tonight. We should have done a little bit more research. Maybe ask that in one of our pre-race interviews. Write that down for next week.
Let me pull up the quick memo. Hold on.
Then we found, so scrolling back through here, we found Matthew Boone in NNR Bowling right here, running in 10th place. My pick to win this thing, just because, you know, he's from Rhinelander, Wisconsin. He's in that 38 Sprite Chevrolet right there. Then on back from that, we've got Giovanni Klein, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, in that number 97 Ford. And the number 7 Budweiser machine, we got Cardwell. See if we can get a good shot of that 77 machine in McQuaid. These guys being in a pack, it's hard to get them a good shot on camera to get all their sponsors on here. There we go, there's a decent shot of it.
Right here, out here in chat, giving a shout out to chat with Papa Bear, saying great job in the booth so far, guys. Thank you very much. All shout outs. I'm going to actually use the bot here tonight and add this out there in chat. If you want to check out Blair Patterson out here in the booth with me as well, go check him out. That's linked to his Facebook page, so go check him out. But somebody else who needs to be checked out, I see you're focusing on good old Jim Coey, a.k.a. Grandpa Coey.
Yep.
For a second out there.
Yep, we're rolling through the pack right here. We found Grandpa Coey here. He's got a good run going, running 14th. He's back here in the single car kind of pack, just kind of holding his own on the bottom, making smart moves right here, hanging on to it. Just going through the pack here, seeing who we can find out here. Got Kobe in the number 28 Ford. And we got Cole Snyder, driver from Hazeltown, PA, in that number 99 Ford. Good looking paint scheme on that thing too. Man, a lot of these guys have a lot of good paint schemes. Shout out to the painters on these trucks. Looking good out here tonight. Here's one of the guys that we talked to pre-race. We got Carroll here in the number 92 Chevrolet. He's kind of working this top side by himself, not really in line, kind of in line. We talked to him pre-race. He said he's just going to kind of hang out here at the back and make a move towards the end. So looks like he's staying true to his plan.
Yeah, well, right now it looks like he's trying to pull up.
Oh, we got a wreck! We got a wreck up front.
Oh!
The 8's in it. The 18's in it. Oh my goodness gracious! We've got the big one up here.
That is the big one already.
Oh no, the 95's in it. Oh my goodness gracious. Our pole sitter Shiro's gotten a piece of it. Oh,
and that took out a lot of fast trucks.
Yeah, that happened right up front. Let's see if we can go back and get a replay on this thing. Holy cow. We just barely caught it out of the corner of our eye when we were live going through the pack. Let's see if we can get back here to where it happened originally. Might be right here. Let's take it back to the TJ replay, see if we can get a look at it here. Oh, they're already in the grass here, so let's go back just a little bit further on the TJ replay. Oh, Coey's going to be in this one. Let's see how Coey ends up.
Right here, and what I'm looking at from the replay that I'm looking at, it looked like the 16 just pushed the 18 a little too much in the wrong spot, pushed him in the right rear quarter, and that sent him to the left, taking out the 95 in the 8. So that's going to end up, that's going to be our first caution of the evening, and unfortunately it's going to be the big one, taking out a lot of fast trucks.
There we go. There's another view of it right there. See if we can rewind that back just a wee bit. First day on the controls, apparently. There it was right there. Yeah, it looks like the 18 came down, hit the 8, 95 got into it, and then all heck broke loose there behind us under this first caution here on the TJ replay.
Yeah, that 16 giving that 18 too much of a push already, but definitely thank you to morethanthecape.org for being also not only the presenter of the series, but also being the sponsor for the TJ replay here on the Expert Racing Network.
All right, let's head back up here to live. Let's see who's leading this thing after all we had go on here. So, hey, look at this. Look at this. Look who we got leading this thing right now. Are you seeing this?
Oh, well, I mean, he said he was going to find a way up there. I think this is more of an unconventional way. But
we were just talking about Cowboy here just a little bit earlier, how he's riding around in the back, biding his time, taking it easy, all these conversations that we just had. The big one happens right up front, and look at this. Cowboy right here to the point already on lap 25, I do believe.
Like I said, it's unconventional, but I mean, you got to give the man props on the strategy. We saw it last night in the happy hour, and now here in the main event, and he's saying, yep, I'm going to pull the card out again.
So we still got the lights on the pace car, so it's going to be another lap before we go back green. Let's see if we got any takers on pit road here. Let's see if maybe he stayed out, and that's how he got the lead. No. Got a couple guys ducking in here. Let's roll through the pack here just a little bit and see what we got. Hey, there's my pick, Matt Boone, going to be running second. NNR Bowling, look at this. Look at this.
Surprise, surprise.
Then we got Arnold running third. Then from there we got McQuaid running fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Rounding out our top 5 out of Carteret, New Jersey, Enrique Quinones right here.
Don't forget, we also have Paul Urban. He's going to be up there. The first of the Shiro, I believe, is Tyler Shiro. It's going to be the first Shiro up here in the pack. Then it's Kobe, and then look at that, Jim Coe, aka Grandpa Coe. He's going to be right there, P9, and then Horn in P10.
Yeah, let's take a look. Coe he got a little piece of that action there. Let's see if we can get a better look at his truck to see if there's any damage on that 24 machine. Oh, that was a pretty good camera view. The nose, I saw the right side just a wee bit, looked good. Left side looks good. Left side panels look straight. Spoiler looks straight. He looks good to me.
Yeah, so luckily not enough damage to hinder him. Unfortunately, a lot of guys got caught up in that. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how well the 18 is doing. He's still sitting there on pit road, so he's got a lot of repairs to make as well. Same with the 8 of Pete Ruzick, so he's going to be there as well. A lot of good and fast trucks taken out this early.
We did a look at the 95 here. Nicholas Vroom Vroom Vroman. You can see the damage over on his right front there. Left side looks really good. Right front, not so great. Pace car is off. We're going back green flag racing.
And here we go. These guys, green flag out in the air. Cowboy going to take advantage. He's going to get a jump there. Josh Arnold on the inside with him. He gets a pretty good run side by side with Bowling. But Cowboy's got both of these lines cleared. Still staying tucked to the inside. Here comes the push from Arnold as we dive into third corner.
Big moves in the back here. You saw a lot of guys at the top of your screen diving around looking for spots here on this restart. What happens there is some of these guys might, after that caution, they might be a little bit down on power. So you got to move around and find a way to go and find who's still got the power and who's still got the arrow that can get you back up front. But looks like Cowboys holding it down on the bottom line there.
Well, right now you're about to see a lot of guys that we have talked about so far. I got to, talking about guys like Matthew Boone, Matt Cochran, Kobe, Horn, Paul Urban, guys that necessarily were sitting back in that single file line. They're now coming up here and trying to battle it out up front here as we take 28 laps to go, or sorry, not laps to go, but 28 laps into this race. These guys, you can see that they are the ones that are now taking up these top spots. So that strategy really working out for them as far as track position.
Yeah, absolutely. It's working out for them as track position. They're getting out here. They're getting out front. They're leading some laps. Getting to experience what the front part of the draft is going to look like and feel like here later on in this race. The other thing is, if you would have asked these guys, hey, if your strategy is to stay in the back, lap 28, how do you feel about being out front? I bet their answer is, we'll take it.
Well, right now, this poses another question. We talked about fuel saving. A few guys stayed out, the biggest one being Matt Cochran. He was the guy that was able to stay out. What does this mean in terms of fuel strategy? We saw a lot of guys go down. What does this mean in terms of fuel strategy for the guys that stayed out? It's definitely going to put them on a different pit cycle than the rest of these guys.
Correct. Puts them on a different pit cycle, and what that's going to do is that's going to shake it up. And now these guys that are on this different pit strategy all have to work together to make sure that when they go pit, they all pit together so nobody loses a lap. Believe it or not, at this 2.5 mile track, you can lose a lap if you lose the draft.
So right now, these guys, this is really going to put the race in the palm of their hands. A few guys making moves back there. We saw the 9 of Paul Irvin. He decided to get out of the line and go to the back of this pack. But these guys, you can see that top side's really getting some momentum. They're going to be side by side. Here comes NNR Bowling, a.k.a. Matthew Boone, to the outside of Cochran.
Yeah, that was Ryan Lader, Wisconsin boy, making moves up there on the top side in that 38 Sprite machine. He's got good help from the 77 there behind him. That top side needs to get a little bit more organized. That guy that's hanging back in third, I'm trying to see who that is. That blue and white truck, that blue and white Chevrolet, needs to get up there just a little bit, and then that'll help that top side run a little bit harder.
See, even though it was on NASCAR Heat, Matthew Boone, if you want to be technical, it's the defending NNR Truck Series champion. over on the NASCAR heat side, now coming over to iRacing, and he's looking to try to battle it out and try to quote-unquote defend that title.
You know what's amazing to me is, I never really raced on console much. I've always been an iRacing guy. But what's amazing to me is how much communicates between the two versions of racing, right? Racing's racing, but how much these guys that are good on console can bring over to iRacing and just be really good out of the box. It's impressive to me.
Definitely, and I mean, we're seeing it with a good amount of our top guys up here. There was a quote before, as Matt Cochran, he's going to get out of line, he's going to drop to the back, he surrenders the lead here. But talking about a guy that I was going to point out, what was quoted as before the fastest 22 in NNR has now taken the point. He was known in the NNR Cup Series on console, now coming over here once again to iRacing, and he's taking the point here in the NNR Truck Series debut.
Yeah, absolutely. I just put the camera on Cochran there real quick to see if Cowboy was having a problem. Everything looks okay with his truck. Nothing that I can see from up here in the booth. Maybe he just got tired of being around up front. Maybe he was remembering that just a few laps ago, the big one happened up here in the front. And maybe he didn't like the way things were feeling up here, so he goes, hey guys, I'm just going to head back here to the back. I feel pretty confident back here.
Yeah, he's saying, yeah, the strategy's too much for me. Let's go.
Yeah. You boys, all that bumping and begging and pushing and beating, go ahead and have at it. I'll be back here, and if you have another big one, I'll take the lead back if you don't mind.
He's going to play it conservative. He's not worried about it tonight.
Absolutely. Got the 28 of Kobe, the 38 of Boone up there on the top side. They've got that top side working. 22 on the bottom, getting a really good push from the 98 of Quinones. And that 64 machine of Robertson, guess where he's sitting again? Third car back on the bottom, third truck back on the bottom. If you're looking to send any fan mail to Robertson, third car back on the bottom is his address. You can just send it right there. That's where you can be able to find him all night so far.
And right here, looking at the leader up top, going to be Corey Colby holding that top spot on the high side. He's looking to battle it out alongside Josh Arnold there on the bottom. So these guys respectively battling it out as we have Enrique and Boone right behind them, both respectively second in line.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw Boone give a bit of a big push to Kobe right there. Kobe got a little loose. We saw that earlier with the 8 and the 18. Same thing. They recovered nicely. Looks like Boone had to lift just a little bit, so that way Kobe could get the truck back underneath of him. All good, no harm, no foul.
And right here, you can see a lot of guys that were up front earlier moving back up through the field. Robertson has made his way back into P number 5.
Yeah, these guys are running really good. A little bit of a wiggle down there on the bottom. I believe that's Arnold that's leading it. Yeah, that is Arnold leading that bottom row. A little bit of a wiggle right there. Don't know if he got a kind of a funny push from Quinones off the corner there. But dropping down to the bottom side, we got the 28 and the 38 moving to the bottom line.
And right there, that 38 nearly got on the apron, almost sent it around. What a save by him to be able to keep that truck straight and hold on to the push there on the back of Corey Colby.
Yeah, absolutely. He had 2 handfuls of steering wheel once he hit the apron there. Now we got one back down there again. The left side just barely touching that yellow line. This man is not afraid of that apron, so he's going to be hanging on to it going down the back straight.
And right here, it has been, not sure if this was announced before, but it looks like, as I try to get through here, Diltz was given an EOL penalty. So right there, one of the drivers, Justin Diltz, sitting respectively back in what looks to be 34th position, down pit road, dealing with some damage or whatnot. He was given an EOL penalty. So tough break for him as we continue on here at the World Center of Racing in Daytona.
You hate to see it. Looks like Cochran coming off pit road right here. So that fuel strategy that you hinted at a little bit earlier, expert, doesn't look like he's got anybody working with him. He might lose this lead draft, which is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, and already being 1 lap down, that is definitely going to hurt him as we continue on here. With only we have just passed about 11 laps past the 1/4 point of the race, still chasing down that halfway point. A lot of these guys still looking for the next pit cycle. So of course we came upon I believe it was around lap 20 was the first caution, somewhere around there. And now these guys still with a few laps to go, almost about 13 laps to go before halfway. These guys still holding strong here, and it's going to be interesting to see when we'll see our first green flag pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of green flag pit stops here at Daytona, for all you guys out there in chat, tires aren't really that big of a deal at Daytona. So what you'll see a lot of these guys do is on their first green flag pit stop, they'll take right sides only and a full tank of fuel. And then their second time coming in, they'll take left sides only under the green flag conditions with the full tank of fuel. The really only time you take 4 tires at Daytona is if it's under caution, and it's really not even necessary because tire wear is so minimal here.
And these guys still holding tough. We saw at the beginning of this race, it was mostly 2x2 action, these guys battling it out, but these guys have really gotten single file. They've really just worked on just trying to stay conservative, trying to not push the issue, and these guys looking to just try to make it to the end of the race. This was kind of the strategy we saw from most of these guys in the back of the pack earlier on. Now they're transitioning to the front, and you can see they're just along for the ride here as we continue on at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. And this single file up here at the front, it's actually a good thing because there's some lap vehicles. You saw them go around the number 69 of Lewis Jr. Just a little bit ago. When they're single file in line, going around these lap cars is really, really easy to do. I mean, you can run Daytona 2 wide, of course, 3 wide we've seen. You can even run it 4 wide here. So passing a lap car, it's real simple when you're in line.
And as we continue on, I want to give a shout out to a guy who has been making his way now, just entered the top 10. Shout out to good old Carroll sitting back there. DCC Racing is what he likes to be called, but he has just made his way into the top 10 and now continues to battle up, just gained another position now in 9th.
Yeah, we talked to him pre-race. He's a guy that's going to be making some moves here at the end for sure. He's working that top side. That top side's not super organized right now. You got the 95 of Roman leading it, then the 7 of Cardwell. The problem is with the 95 of Roman leading this line, you can see the damage on the nose on the right front of that 95 Toyota. So that's going to be slowing them down. Somebody needs to get around Roman and lead that top line a little bit cleaner. They'll be a lot faster with a clean nose up front.
Yeah, but they have been able to work their way now side by side with the 4th place driver. So that high line, even with the 95 having a little bit of damage, they're making moves now, getting side by side now with Josh Arnold.
Yeah, these guys are really getting organized. They're making moves as best they can. But I'm telling you, this top side, if they're going to go, 95's got nose damage, the 7's got tail damage. If I was in that 92, I'd be looking to the 24 behind me, Jim Cohen, and go, hey, let's make this thing 3 wide, get around these 2, and we'll be flying right up front there.
Yeah, well, these guys still standing in line, working pretty well together. Right now, not much changeover in this top 3. Still remains Corey Colby, Matthew Boone, and Josh Arnold.
Yeah, all the action's right back here where we've been talking. We got the 95 on the high side, right along the 98 on the bottom, 64 on the bottom as well. These guys are just working right along. 95's doing a really good job of side drafting and just working what he's got to keep that top side hanging on to him there. Is that a Thundercat on the hood of the 54? What is that on the hood of the 54?
I could not tell you.
All right, we gotta take a closer look. I gotta know what this is. Like, I thought it was the Northwestern University symbol there at first, and then I'm like, this might be a Thundercat. What do we got going on here?
You gotta figure this out.
Really good racing action going on here through the pack.
And right there, asking in chat, Papa Bear saying, is that a few Fords up front? Well, yes, it is. Corey Colby and Josh Arnold, the 2 Haas Fords sitting 1 in 1st and 3rd, respectively. looking throughout the top 10, it looks like Ford has the most up there with 5 Fords so far in the top 10. Chevy trying to cycle out as they have 4 Chevys up in the top 10 and only 1 Toyota, that lone Toyota being Roman, sitting in 4th.
Here we are passing our pole setter, the 33 Ashero here, going another lap down. Hate to see it. He's involved in that wreck. We got another lap truck way up high on the top side of the speedway there. All these guys are going to cycle through there real nice. Roman ducked down in line in the bottom and then back up, now back down. At 95, even with the damage, he's still running really good. I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, and he is really trying to work his way around up front. Not many friends up here. His closest Toyota now in 9th, it's going to be Crowell, who has just got his way into the top 10. So not many manufacturer teammates. He's all alone and with damage, surrounded by a host of Fords around him. Right now, Ford takes up most of the top 7 as they take 1st, 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, a lot of single file racing going on right now. We're lap 44. We're 6 laps from halfway. So right now, a lot of these guys are just kind of getting in line, biding their time, logging laps. If there's a move to be had, they'll take it. But if not, you're better off just in line being safe here.
And you're exactly right. These guys are going to keep it rolling here as we're about 6 laps away from halfway.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get a check back here on some of the guys in the back. We saw Cochran out here leading. He's got a little bit of a pack back here with him. He's got the 12 behind him, and behind the 12 is the 84. So he's got a little help. They're not going to lose the draft completely. There's about 5 trucks up to speed, up to full song back here. These guys here, remember Cochran's on a different pit strategy than our leaders. So let's take a look back up here at the leaders and see how they're doing.
Right now still running single file, but it looks like Jim Coey, he's going to be the first of a few guys. He's looking to the high side here to try to get a few spots. He's going to be pulling DCC Racing of Carroll with him as well on that high side as they continue to try to see if this high side will get any momentum.
Yeah, that high side's starting to get some action again. We've seen it work really, really well early on. I think the move of the race, coming down to the end of it, I mean, we're not even halfway. We still got a long way to go. But I'm predicted the move of the race is going to be that top side, getting a big, huge push, cutting down to the bottom side, going into 3 and 4, and then getting that big push all the way to the start-finish line is what I'm predicting to see for the win here tonight.
And these guys, as the bottom line continues to check up behind the 95, they are really getting somewhere. They've gained a few spots now, getting deep inside the top 10, nearing the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. That 24 and 92 are rolling really well. They've got some help. The 7's moving up there to work with them. 95's moved up to the top side as well to help them along. So this top side's getting reorganized again. So much for settling in and clicking off laps. We're back to some racing.
And these guys, they are trying to work with it. However, the one guy that was kind of holding up that bottom side, allowing them to get some momentum, he's now leading that top side once again. So it's going to be a big question on, do they stay behind and stay committed to this 95 once again?
If I was up here in this second, third spot up here towards the front on this bottom side, let's see if we can get the camera up here more towards the front. But if I was in this number 22 of Arnold, I'd be looking to go to this top side, see if I could get a big run right now. 38 and 28, well hooked up. If I was at 22, I'd be thinking about going up top, seeing if I could get a push.
Well, right now, as we continue on here, of course, Josh Arnold, he's no stranger for trying to make race-winning moves. So expect for him to try to make something. But, of course, with now just coming to 3 laps to halfway, these guys still have a lot of racing left as here comes that 95 with a run as Jim Coey tries to give him a push.
Absolutely. This is just some great racing action here. Let's see what's going on through the pack here. Oh, Coey with a big push. Moved up just a little bit high. Had a big run on him. The 95, the 24 did. So they're getting organized. They're coming up. At 22, he's going to be covered by the 95 on the outside. Outside's starting to roll here.
And these guys, once again, you're talking about the outside starting to roll. Well, these guys are really trying to really trying to make their way to the front. They got more help now. The 2777 moved up top, and now it's going to be the question, do we see Matthew Boone? Do we see Corey Colby? Do we see any of these guys try to go on the defensive? But here comes that 95 once again. Even with the damage, he has led this line back to the front.
Yeah, big smoke here on this top line right now. 95 getting a great push from the 24. They're making their way up here. They still got the 22 covered. They still got a little ways to go up there to get to Kobe and Boone, but they keep it organized. It won't take long. They'll be right there on them.
Exactly, and right now this bottom side, you know that 28 is just telling the 38, hey, keep pushing me. Let's keep pulling these guys on the bottom. They will not catch us. But that 95, they are trying so hard. They have been side drafting aggressively to try to get these guys separated on the bottom.
Yeah, they're trying everything they can there on that top side just to hang with them and get back up there to the point. 95's falling back just a little bit. 22 of Arnold, he could clear up right there if he wanted to. I mentioned before, if I was him, I'd give it a shot and see what happens.
And right here, as you can see, these guys, the holes are starting to open up on the bottom. No guys have really ditched that top side of it yet. But expect, as long as those holes stay open, I'd assume it's more and more tempting every lap if you're starting to lose momentum to try to see if you can find a home down there on the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it comes to be a comfort thing for some of these drivers as well. Some guys are more comfortable on the top side. Some guys are more comfortable on the bottom side. So, you know, you see guys like the 64 Roberts in there. He's been on the bottom side most of the day. I'm saying that's a comfort thing for him. Or just the opposite, you know, you've seen the 95 on the top side a lot of the day. I think he's willing to drive anywhere he can get some clean air.
And that 95, he's looking to continue on here side by side with the 98. These guys are just battling it out right there for position. The 98 is going to be able to get clear of them. And now it's going to be decision time for the guys behind this 95. Do you stay behind him and allow him to keep checking you up, or do you find a home, or do you try to pass him?
Man, that got really close there, that tornado action between the 95 and the 98, man. I was over here just biting my tongue, hoping nothing would happen here. But, you know, these guys on the top side, they gotta start. Oh, we got one looking out. Looked like Boone was going to look out. He got back in line, though. 95 now has Boone covered. They're coming to the lead.
And here we go. It was a huge check up there on the bottom line. And now, without question, to the outside there, this high side might start to be moving a little bit. They got 5 cars up there, but I'm not sure how long they're going to be able to hold on. That bottom line's going to be fighting back.
Now, the next question is if that 95 clears our leader, Kobe, right now, does he drop down and take the bottom side and leave the 24, Jim Coey, over there all by himself on the high side? Or is he just going to stay up there with him and ride along?
That's going to be the big question. I mean, if no matter what he does, I feel like he's still going to be at a disadvantage with that damage to the nose of that 95 Toyota. But with that, it's just up in the air. We're still very early in this race, just after the halfway point. So still a long way to go for a lot of these guys. A lot of strategy to still be played out and a lot of decisions to still be made. I'd expect we might be coming up on some pit stops here as well, as we have already ran probably more than 20 or so laps. So expect these guys to possibly try to get set up for green flag pit stops here soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see green flag pit stops start cycling here fairly soon. These guys are... So on the green flag pit stops, one thing that you got to think about, if they're all going to go together, the top side and the bottom side can't really go at the same time. So if you're on the top side and you're planning on pitting, you got to find a hole there on the bottom, or wait till the guy on the bottom side pits and then, you know, get down there. So that's another little bit of excitement coming up here soon.
Yeah, and these guys still battling it out. Here comes the 95 with another charge to the front. Jim Coey is not letting off that back bumper of Roman. He is not giving up on him just yet. Neither is Carroll. He's sitting up there. These guys have pretty much said, okay, we've made our bed. As the 38 comes up, tries to stall the momentum a little bit. Almost a little bit of contact there, but that 95 looking for any sort of side draft he can get.
Man, these guys are just battling it out up here at the point. You would think that maybe the 95 was a little bit gun shy. Last time he was up here battling out, that's when he was in that incident. But no fear whatsoever out of that 95 car. Got some lappers here. We got a lapper on the bottom, a lapper on the top. So going to be a little bit of jumbling and dicing just to get through here, the lap traffic. 38 kind of looking outside a little bit. Looks like he's going to tuck back in line with the 28 of Kobe.
And right here, Coey's going to be able to... Oh, we got a wreck in the back!
We got a wreck back here. Caution is out. 7 is in it.
And that's a tough break. It looked like too many guys going for too many spots there, trying to get around the lap car, and that is unfortunate. It takes out a lot of trucks right there. Not as many as the big one we saw earlier, but still a good amount of trucks involved in that one.
Let's roll back here to the TJ replay, see if we can find out what happened. Let's see here. See if we can get a look here. This is Meredith in the 17. Oh, it was absolutely that, passing that lap truck just like you called it.
And unfortunate for Zach Meredith, he stayed pretty clean all day, and now gets involved into that incident right there. Very heartbreaking for him. And a lot of guys able to dodge it. Oh, the 21 as well involved.
Oh, he got a little extra. He got a little extra in that. Little bonus crash for the 21. Yeah, it looks like the 16 was being lapped here. I believe that is Bain in the 16.
The 7 might have just misjudged it and went a little too high, and that collected the field.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here on the TJ replay. Hate to see it for some of these guys, you know, here in the season opener here on lap 55. Here's the 77. Oh, you hate to see it.
And the 54 and 97, the 54 of Crowell and the 57 of Klein both now are receiving EOL penalties who are being told from race control.
Let's go on board here with Cheryl, see what he saw. Big melee up front. He's checking up. He's all over the brakes. He gets her woe down pretty good. Good job there by T. Cheryl getting everything slowed down. Oh no, there's guys coming back up here. The wreck's not over. So he got it through there. Good onboard view there on the TJ replay.
And these guys, now it's a time for them to get reset and reorganized, refocused would probably be the best word to say as well. As a lot of guys with damage there, they're going to have to end up going down and seeing what they can do. But we were nearing green flag pit stop, so this may be a saving grace for a lot of guys. It's going to allow guys like the 95 to work on their trucks a little bit more, see if they can get any more damage repaired. And for the rest of these guys, it's going to be interesting to see what else they can do in terms of strategy. As right now, it looks like our top 3 is going to stay the same, just reorganized a little bit. Corey Colby, Josh Arnold, and Matthew Boone locked up the top 3. Jim Coey and Enrique Quinones, he's going to be wrapping up the top 5. So that's going to be your top 5 leading us to green this time by.
Yeah, it looks like to wrap out the top 10, we got Robertson, Irvin, Vroman, Sherrill, and Darnell wrapping out the top 10. We'll see if anybody needs any extra pitting here. Lights are still on the pace car, so these guys could come back down pit road right here. No takers over the top 6, it looks like.
Right here, another penalty, Sir McQuaid, given an end-of-the-line penalty from race control. So he is going to end up being sent to the back as well.
Hate to see it. You hate to see it for these guys. A lot going on there in that caution, in that wreck. A lot of trucks getting involved in that, and you know, with 22-week season, you know, like we touched on earlier, you got to get back out there. You got to get your truck fixed up. you got to get back out there and get as many points as you can get.
Definitely, and it's going to be a points battle for a lot of these guys. What many people that might be watching don't understand is this is one race in comparative to 22 for these guys. It's all about what you can do in all 22 races, not just this one. So for the guys that are not necessarily having the best race, just keep your head high. You still have 21 left to go after this, all featured here on the Expert Racing Network.
Absolutely, and the thing is about points racing. As a iRacing driver myself, anytime I look at a league schedule and I go, Daytona and Talladega, okay, we'll see what happens. You get really excited for it because it's the season opener and it's the World Center of Racing and like all the really great things about Daytona. But then at the end of the day, you go, it's super speedway racing, man. Like, we'll see what happens. So, you guys have been seeing it out there in chat. Some really great racing going on so far here tonight.
Definitely, and thank you for those actually out there in chat, the 35 viewers. Be sure to follow if you haven't already, as we're getting set once again to go green here. The pace truck pulling off here, and we are getting set to go back green here in the second half of the NNR iRacing Truck Series debut at Daytona. Corey Colby and Matthew Boone going to be getting in rocketing back out to the front here. Josh Arnold and Jim Coey on the high side looking for a place to get in line.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Arnold's going to drop back down there real quick. We were talking about preferences here before that caution of what certain drivers like. Some guys like the top, some guys like the bottom. Obviously, Arnold thinks the bottom's where his truck is a little bit better. You saw he dropped right back in line, even though he had help from Coey. He got right back in line behind Kobe and Boone.
And right here, this might reset the entire field. These guys still trying to keep it up on the high side. But if you notice behind them, a good amount of these trucks are all staying in a single file line. They are not interested in battling it out right now.
Now, a lot of these guys have seen a little bit too much action so far. So they're kind of minding their P's and Q's back here. We got 20 trucks still on the lead lap here. So a lot of great racing action. Still anybody's race with 40 to go.
And you're exactly right. And it's very unfortunate. A lot of fast guys got taken out early. But we can see a lot of these guys also still trying to run around and trying to keep it going here up front. Right now, Corey Colby still our leader. He's still holding on to that P1 position. His top three has not changed since the original caution.
Yeah, these guys here are all locked together. The top three working really, really well together right now. Things going their direction. But don't look now. That top line's getting organized, and we got the 24 on the point there on the top side.
Yeah, and that top side, that could really start working for these guys. We can see a battle up here for the lead coming pretty soon, as here comes a lap car. That's going to give that 24 and a few of these guys a little bit more room. That 22 having to force them up, though, just to get by that lap car. So very treacherous times for those leaders. They're going to be able to hang on to it, though.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. We talked about this earlier as a lap car. When you're out here in the lead, all you want the lap car to do is pick a lane and stick to it. And I believe that was the 36 that everybody just went by right there. He did a great job. Quimby did a great job sticking to the bottom, holding his line, and let the leaders work their way around him.
And right here, as these guys continue to make some laps around this track, here we go to the top side. Here comes Jim Coey. He's going to look for the move here. He's got Robertson all with him right beside of him. Oh, the 28, Corey Colby. What a save.
Hold it down. Don't get back up there. Where did he go? He held it down. So a lot of times when you see happening going into corners, when you get a bump like that, you get loose and you just got two handfuls of steering wheel and you're trying to save that truck. Sometimes that truck shoots back up in front of the other trucks, but great save by Kobe right there.
Now it's going to be a tough break as he, of course, has lost the main pack, but what a save. You got to give it up to him on that one.
Man, that was a wheelman move right there. That guy did all of the driving all at once right there. He used all of his talent up. I think he might have gotten a little bit too much of a push from Boone there on the bottom and maybe gotten his left rear just a little bit and sent him free. But we got Robertson up here on point now with Roman behind him, then Coey right there in line. The top three have changed up.
And right now, these guys that have been working so hard to use that high side now committing to the bottom here. and it's going to be in their best interest, as you can tell, as they continue to keep going around. We're going to see right now one of the guys that unfortunately wrecked out of the race. We're going to see if we can get a quick word with them. We talked to him a little bit in pre-race. We're going to see if we can pull him back in here. Let's see if we can talk to old Repeat while these guys continue to race around, see if we can get a word with him.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Expert and Blair up in the booth. Repeat, you got a copy?
I got you, Expert. What good timing you have.
I'd say it works. But unfortunately, we know that you wrecked out. We want to get a quick word with you or whatnot. Or actually, you're going to be coming back on track as of course the damage kind of affected you earlier. But of course, we know you had a fast truck earlier tonight. You were kind of involved in that first big one that happened. So explain kind of what exactly happened in your eyes, and as far as how you're going to try to recover the day.
Well, man, I gotta say, first big props to the 18 of Rowdy Justin Anasagak for giving me amazing pushes all during that first 25 laps. Man, I couldn't have asked of him. I couldn't have asked any better out of him. They were just perfect. They weren't too hard, they weren't too soft. They're kind of like the three bears, big bear, baby bear, mama bear. They were just like right on point. And I couldn't complain one bit. But with that damage, you put me hard into the outside wall, blew up, and I had like 32 minutes of required repair and like another 5 minutes of optional. So hopefully I'm coming out. I know my truck's not going to be 100%, but I'm going to try pushing it the best that I can. Rowdy actually waited up for me just a little bit, so we were somewhat faster than just being by ourselves. We got a full tank of fuel. We both got 4 brand new Eagle Fuel Goods, and we're going to try to make up as much time as we can, and hopefully make up some points on guys that have since been wrecked out or weren't able to fix it within a mere 30 or 35 minutes. But man, that first 25 laps was so much fun. Racing up front, getting the lead a couple. I got to push HD up to the lead, got to push Rowdy to the lead, got to push 17 to the lead, the 33 to the lead. It was just like whoever was on the front of my bumper or the front bumper of the 95 went to the front.
Well, definitely it was it was very interesting. First race dudes, we thought you would wreck that one and try to get a word with you. So we're going to move you back to your race room because we don't want to get in any more trouble than we already have. So we're going to send you back to your race room. Good luck, man, with the rest of the race.
Man, thank you very much. Definitely looking forward to going back and watching that broadcast. It's got to be something special.
Definitely. Well, thank you once again, and we're going to send you back. There we go, Repeat, back into his race room. Blair, we're going to get in trouble by the end of the night.
Good chance. But the good news is we're back up here looking at the leaders. So we got the coverage back up here front. It looks like Paul Irvin and Robertson going back and forth. Irvin on the high side, Robertson on the bottom. They're organized both lanes right now. Good pushes going on each side.
And right now, these guys still holding tough side by side. And what a battle for them. As, of course, we got to shout out the 9 of Paul Irvin. He's been very quiet tonight, but he's looking to make moves. Got DCC Racing of the Carroll right behind him. And then, of course, you have Matthew Boone right behind him, respectively, as well. So these guys holding tough there, trying to battle it out there on the high side.
Yeah, high side's getting together a little bit. Boone's making sure not to push the 92. So, don't push the pusher is the key here. So Boone's doing a really good job of staying in there tight, but not actually pushing. So these guys are really knowing the limits of their truck right now and providing some great racing action up here on the top side.
Definitely, and we're going to be we're close to about 30 laps to go. So right now we're getting closer and closer to the end. These guys have raced around 60, 70 laps, getting closer to 70 now. What is the idea of a driver right now? What is the mindset of a driver here, knowing that you're getting closer to the race? It's not usually to the point of, hey, it's 20, 15, 10 laps to go, but you're inching closer to that point. What is your mindset right now if you're one of these drivers?
So right now what I'm doing as a driver here towards the front of the pack, I'm testing my winning move. Whatever I think is going to be my winning move, I break it out right now, pull it out of the box, shine it up real nice, and let's throw it on these boys. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the box. I'm going to wait 30 laps and break it out again if it worked. Now, if it didn't work, I got to come up with a new idea.
You gotta go back to the lab on that one.
Yeah, I'll be sitting here in the laboratory for about the next 20 laps going, all right, what do we do now? Because that didn't work at all.
Well, right now, a few of these guys, Cowboy, actually correcting, a few guys had some black flags, but they ended up being cleared now for a few of these guys. Snyder, Dilts, and Cowboy all got black flags that needed to be cleared, and they are now cleared. So they're going to be out of some hot water, but these guys still up front battling it out. As right now, I believe we have the top 10 in this pack looking to still try to go after this win. A lot of guys that have lost the pack so far, they're going to be trying to recover and see what they can do as these guys trying to get around some lap traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this lap traffic, that's one heads-up thing that you got to be aware of right now. You know, with about 29 laps to go, you got to be watching the guy in front of you, watching the guy behind you, see if there's any runs coming, see if that top side is going to start forming up, and then also paying attention to where those lappers are. So these guys are doing a lot of work right now. They're not just out here holding the steering wheel. There's a lot going on in the minds of these drivers.
And right now, they have gotten back single file. That high line seems like it is just completely dissipated. But right now, this top four has a little bit of a gap to the guys behind them. Is that going to be... Is that in hopes of trying to pull away, or is it just the guys fifth on back looking to try to build up a run?
They could be just trying to build up the run here. You see Coey stepping out of line. You see Boone stepping out of line. So this top side might be forming up again. Boone's got a really good run here with not a lot of help. Coey's not tight enough to him to really help him out a lot, but he's hanging on pretty well.
And here we go, Boone right here, a pretty healthy truck out of that 38. He's going to try to hang on to the high side. And right now, you know, he's begging for some help. Him and Coey both up there. They are begging for help. And right now, they're going to be catching a line of lap traffic here shortly. About 3 cars ahead of him, or ahead of these leaders. Where are they going to go? They look like they're all heading to the top side.
Yeah, this could get a little bit exciting right here. So we're going to try to go to a blimp view to get a better shot at this 3 wide that you're going to be seeing. You got Irvin and Boone side by side passing the lappers. That's a repeat that we just talked to there. Everybody seems to clear out pretty well. Lap guys are doing a really good job just staying up top, holding their lane, letting these leaders get by them nice and smooth.
And here we go once again, Boone and Coey. Now they're able to get locked up there. They finally got a dancing partner on that high side. Expect for them to try to see if they can get some more help and see if this high side can make some moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now you got to be looking at guys like Paul Irvin and that 9 machine to move to the high side. You got to be looking at the 92 of DCC Racing to be moving to the top side. Those are the guys that you're going to be looking at right now to move to the top side to get you a good run.
Well, right now you can see these guys going to be continuing out here as they're going to be driving down on the bottom. You can see they're holding pretty much none of these guys are really looking to make that move just yet as we're coming to 25 laps to go, or coming to around that point. Only a quarter of the race to go, and these guys still want to run conservative. So right now, I can't wait to. We saw the action at the beginning of this race. Just imagine how it'll be when we hit, 10 laps to go. Somewhere in there in which these guys are going to be like, okay, now it's my time to go win this.
Well, I really hope it doesn't happen, but I don't think we're done with cautions yet, because as these laps wind down, you're going to start seeing guys making a little bit more aggressive move here, aggressive move there, trying to get themselves in the spot to be where they need to be to get a good finish, not only for points, but also bring home that win. So I hope we don't get any more cautions and we race this thing out green, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one.
Okay, well, put on your Larry Mack cap. What is the what is the caution pointer? What lap are we looking at?
I said, as Larry Mack would say, Larry, I'm thinking with 10 laps to go, you're going to see a caution here. So we're probably 16 laps away from seeing really aggressive moves, but as they start clicking off, Some of these guys back here, like Joseph Darnell that we're watching right now, he's going to have to figure out how to get up here. He's kind of slacked back off of Irvin a little bit. He doesn't have enough to get up to the top side to get behind DCC Racing. He doesn't have enough help behind him from Shiro. So it's right in this area is where it's going to start happening.
And speaking of the moves right here, we talked about it. You mentioned DCC Racing going up to the high side. He's what I like to call the trigger man. He's going up to the high side, and he's looking for the run. He's going to be the one to pull that trigger on the move here. So he's looking to try to get up to these top 3 on the high side, or the top 2 on the high side, and make it a top 3, see if they can't push their way up to the front.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job on this high side. He's not quite close enough to be in their draft, so he was doing a lot of side drafting off the 9 of Irvin. What I would be doing right here, I would drop down, get a quick draft off of the 98 of Quinones, then get back up to the top side. You know, you got to work that air the way you need to work that air to make your truck work, but, you know, what do I know? Look at this. He's just coming right back up here to the top.
But right now, these guys still continuing to battle it out, looking for any spot that they could possibly find. That high side kind of falling apart now as we're within 24 laps to go, and I think I see why. Lap cars galore in front of them. They're going to try to squeeze through there.
Man, it's kind of like dancing through landmines right there. You got lap cars high, you got lap cars low. Almost feel like an auctioneer sitting here calling where all the lap cars are right now. So all these leaders have to mind their P's and Q's and just get through there as quickly, safely, and cleanly as you can. You see Jim Coey went back down to the bottom to help get through that. He's now gone back up to the top side. He'll be going back up to the rear bumper of Boone. As Boone drops down to the bottom side, Coey hung out to dry all by himself on the top side.
And Boone, they're pretty much playing hot potato, trying to figure out where they want to be here. Boone's going to go back up top. Here comes Jim Coey once again. He's looking for the move, so we know where these guys are committed. The question is, where is the help going to come from?
That's the big thing right now. Is you gotta know where your partner is going to be and when he's going to be there. You know, some of the greats at Super Speedway Racing. You know, you've listened to interviews with Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart and Michael Waltrip and all these guys. Those guys already know what their partner is going to do before they do it. So with all the practice races and all the preparation, hopefully a lot of these guys know what the other man's going to do before he even makes the move. And that's why we're seeing such great, clean racing here come to 22 to go.
Yeah, and they're holding tough on the high side, though. We got the two-man tango up top, and we got guys lined up completely on the bottom. But one thing we saw in the happy hour practice was tandems getting together. Right now, you see Josh Arnold is backed off about a car length from the 95. It looked like for a second him and the 98 were hooked up. So could we expect two-car tandems to start forming here towards the end of this race?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to start seeing two-car tandems. You're going to start seeing three wide. I wouldn't be surprised, if you see Arnold slacking off the back of this 95 just a touch. And when that high line goes up, down here in the center of the corner, they get real tight to each other. But then that high line pulls off and goes more to the top side. I wouldn't be surprised to see Arnold and Quinones pull out and make a third groove.
Well, right here you can see they're still hanging on. And right now you can see the push is not really there for either side, so it really evens them out. This high side really is it's two cars versus two cars right now. And right now, it looks like Noel might have gotten loose. He got off the back bumper of Matthew Boone right there. He's going to have to get reorganized and see what he can do here as Boone continues to try to side draft the 64.95.
Which Coey getting loose right there is not really the worst thing for this top line, because they've got DCC Racing right up there behind him. He's just a little bit off from getting that really good draft that he needs. So Coey backing off just a little bit right there is going to bring DCC Racing up there a little tighter to him and give a little bit more power to that top line to have the energy.
Yeah, and right now Paul Irvin, he's looking for where he's going to go. He's not really tucked in with the bottom line, but he's not really against going to the top either. He's in a line where he can really make a decision and see what's best for him. But right now that high line's still struggling to get going here as we have reached 20 laps to go.
I don't know if this kind of looks like the same thing to you as it does to me, but Paul Irvin, in position that he's in right this second, is about where Cowboy was on that last lap last night. The leaders got together, and Irvin could just go right around like Cowboy did last night to get the win. So Irvin's not in a bad spot right here at all.
Definitely not. It is very reminiscent of that move made last night. But the question is that when do you make that move? And these guys are not going. I'm not sure how aggressive these guys are going to be. Of course, I don't know if they're going to be as aggressive as we saw in happy hour. But right now, you know that they're going to be trying everything they can to go for the win. But you also got to think they know that points are going to be an issue in the back of their mind as well.
Well, and here's another thing to consider. So we've seen the 95 of Roman in line with Robertson here for the last, I don't know, maybe 10 laps or so. We've also seen Vroman on the top side leading. So he knows right now, this is what Nick, 3 wide, right here. As Coey and Boone swap spots on the top side here. But back to what I was saying about Vroman, he knows right now where his truck's best. He knows if he's a better pusher or a better leader. So when it comes to points racing, we keep talking about this being a 22-week season. He might know he's a better pusher at this point, and he's just going to stay on Robertson's back bumper and try to take the second place. But then again, he might know that he's a good leader and try to pull out and get one for himself.
Well, here we go. We talk about good pushers and good leaders. My God, what a push right there from Matthew Boone to Jim Coey. These guys pumped it up and said, okay, hey, here you go. We're going to go right to the front. And these guys just by themselves have almost rocketed themselves out to the lead.
Yeah, we saw Matthew Boone pushing earlier on the back of the 28. Really strong pushing truck right now. He's been a really strong pushing truck all night. Jim Coey is loving it. 64 is moving up just a little bit to move on. Coey gets a little loose. 64 around. 95's in it. 38's in it. No caution out. Everybody's still rolling. We got some damage, though. Holy cow. Still
and
no
what
caution.
A save. That was a save from a few guys. The 95 to 64, they kept it pretty much straight. But these guys still battling it out. And right now, Jim Coey, despite almost getting turned right there, he's taking over the lead.
Now, Jim Coey out here on point. I'm trying to get the camera back up here to him. He's out here all by himself on point. I mean, look at this gap to the back of Jim Coey. Let's go to the blimp view just so you can see it. I mean, you can't even see second place truck of Arnold right now. But don't wait too long. They're starting to organize back here. Arnold, Quinones, and Paul Irvin all working together. DCC Racing all there. Here they come. Coey's going to be a sitting duck, unfortunately.
And here they go to the high side. So very unfortunate for him. And right here in chat, MK Gaming 85 says, can you slow the ticker down a little bit? So with 16 laps to go, is that a possibility to try to slow that ticker down a hair?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Please hold.
Please hold.
Please hold.
Elevator music. These guys, though, they're going to continue to battle it out. The 9 of Irvin, you were talking about the move earlier. He's got the 92 of DCC Racing right there, right behind them. And here we go. The tandems have formed. The 92 and the 9, the 12 and the 24, the 22 and the 98. Here we go. Everybody's found a dancing partner. 6 trucks going to be battling here for the win.
Man, there's some great action going on. Expert, you're doing a great job of calling as I'm trying to slow this ticker down just a skosh. I looked up there at the top. It's moving right along. That ticker's almost as fast as these trucks out here tonight.
Definitely. So these guys, they're going to try to continue to battle it out. 4 trucks now on the high side, and you can see how the momentum has flipped. But Josh Arnold, he's going to try to battle back on the bottom with that 98. And here we go. It's going to be 3v3 when it comes to these lines.
Absolutely, some great racing up here. Jim Coey's still up in this. He's not going anywhere. He's working this bottom line right now. Unfortunately, I can't get the ticker to slow down, guys. I apologize for everybody out there in chat. Here's what I can do. I will throw this up to see if that's a little bit easier so you can see the positions. We'll throw that up there for a little bit. Give you a little different view of the rundown.
But right now, Arnold's still holding tough to that P1 position. And he's got a teammate right behind him, so I'm not too sure if these guys are going to really try to battle it out for the win here. He's got a teammate with him.
Yeah, these guys are really starting to get in line. 14 laps to go. These guys are really starting to learn where they need to be. A lot of really great racing left here, man. These guys are putting on a heck of a show.
And you're certainly right. Right now, though, shout out to these guys, of course, being up here in the top 6, still battling around. Master Killer saying go 22 in 98. He's a big fan of what is, I believe it's Cold Dog Racing. I got to quote him real quick. Yes, it is. It is right here. Let me see if I can find it. Cold Dog Racing it is, leading 1-2 right now. These guys have put themselves in a great position up to this point. But a huge pack of lap cars, and this is really going to shake things up.
Oh my God, there's so many lap cars. I can't tell who's on the lead lap, who's the leader, who's the lap down. I don't even know what's going on. There's so many trucks out here right now. This is insane. Can you imagine being Arnold right now or Quinones in that 98? Being the leaders and coming up to a pack of lap trucks like this? They're everywhere. They're 2 wide, they're 3 wide. Where do you go? What do you do?
There's nowhere to go.
Oh my goodness gracious. The heart rate of these guys is going through the roof right now with 13 laps to go, and they've got this huge pack of lappers.
And right now, if you guys heading down pit road, Paul Irvin, we might not be done with pit stops either.
Yeah, we got Paul Irvin, we got DCC Racing, we've got these guys ducking into the pits, which if you're going to duck into the pits, do it right now while this pack of lap trucks is up here in front. I mean, I'm starting to break a sweat. I'm just sitting here in the broadcast booth.
I am too. These guys, Josh Arnold is just trying to push his way through there, see if he can find an opening, but there's no one to be found.
No, there is nowhere for him to go. You got Cowboy up there on the top side. You've got a lot of these other drivers here on the bottom side. He's tucked in behind this 81 machine. Oh my goodness gracious, that's Horn right there in that 81. I mean, where do you go? Now he's clear. He can move to the top side if he wants to. He's got his teammate Quinones in there behind him. But then again, we might have to pit. Yes, leader's pitting. Lead pack pitting.
And here we go. They're going to have lap cars with them too. It's all about who's going to go down.
Unbelievable right now. So you see our leaders hitting pit road. Arnold, Quinones, Coey, all hitting pit road right now. Unbelievable. 11 laps to go. This is going to be fuel only. Oh, the 19 locked him up big time getting into his pit stall. So here we are back looking at the 92 and the 9. These guys pit the lap before, so they may inherit the lead right here, seeing that if they have no pit road penalties, no speeding, no black flags, you can't have any mistakes at this point. With 11 laps to go, you'll never recover from making a mistake right here.
And right here, as they try to cycle around, they're looking to try to get up here. They've gotten to the third spot. Josh Arnold, as he tries to merge on track off of turn number 2, it's going to be a question. He has no help around him. So will these guys be able to catch him as we are heading to 10 laps to go this time by?
Yeah, we're gonna show the gap right now. So that tandem of Irvin and DCC Racing, they're about 2.5 seconds back from our leader right now and closing. You can see it on the ticker on the left-hand side of your screen. I mean, they're down to 1.5 seconds. There's a second right there that they've closed down. So these guys are rolling. Here they come. You can see them coming. Joseph Darnell in that pack as well. This pack of 3 trucks is going to take Arnold, chew him up, spit him out, just like we saw with Jim Coey a little bit earlier.
And right now, the best thing for Josh Arnold is to see if he can try to get a little bit of the draft from these guys. But it's going to be very difficult for him to achieve here, as right now, these guys are going to be able to clear on the high side. He's going to try to get right in their tire tracks here off the exit.
Absolutely. That's what you got to do when you're in this position as Arnold. You've got to let these guys go by. They're obviously faster. They're hooked up. They're in the draft. And you have to get right in line with them as soon as possible. You don't want to fall out of this draft right here, because the next help back is almost 6 seconds behind you. And if your teammate Quinones, you'll never see him at this point, 10 laps to go.
And right here now, it has gone from a 10 truck to a 6 truck to now a 4 truck battle for the win. The lap car is really shaking things up with these guys, really separating the field. That near wreck that might have been that might be a questionable call to not throw the caution right there, but of course that is too late to change now. These guys have been spread out, separated, and now we could probably have a guess on who's going to go out here and win this thing, as the 92 of DCC Racing sitting right there in first, Paul Irvin right behind him in second, and then Darnell and Arnold third and fourth respectively as well. The top 4, so the closest on track, as fifth on back is 7 to 10 seconds behind them.
Well, just to bring something else up, We talked about who's going to win this race as far as manufacturer. Take a look at that top four. You got a Chevy, you have a Toyota, and then you got two Fords right there. So it's still anybody's race, even when it comes to the manufacturer poll that we had going in chat a little bit earlier tonight.
Well, right now, if you're one of the fans that voted for Chevy, you can definitely tell right now the guy you're going to be pulling for is the guy out there in P number 1. It's going to be DCC Racing, a.k.a. Carroll. He's going to be out there in P number 1. He's going to be the guy that you're looking for.
Yeah, this is a four-man race right here till the end, barring any cautions, of course. But if you start looking at this timer, we've only got 13 cars on the lead lap. The 95 is going to be caught at some point, it looks like, by these leaders. So we might only end with 12 cars on the lead lap. And you can see the four right here that it's going to come down to.
You're certainly right. And right now, I'm going to be putting a poll out in chat. We're going to take a look at some of the guys that is the top 5 guys that they may not win tonight, but they are certainly put their they certainly put their name on tonight's race. So we're going to put out a list of 5 guys and allow the fans to choose from on who they want to hear from tonight, and see if we can try to get a word from them later on.
Are we talking about a fan vote interview right now?
Yes, we are.
I love that idea. That's the greatest idea I've heard all night. And you've had some good ideas.
Well, thank you. I didn't know if that was going to be a compliment or an insult there, but it works out pretty well.
I intended it as a compliment, but
I was about to say, dang, I have one good idea. Let's go.
I love that idea. It's a great idea. So here's Nick Vroman in the 95 up there on the high side. He's going a lap down. Going to only give us 12 drivers on the lead lap. Last driver on the lead right now is, we've been talking about him all night, that 24, Jim Coey. Last driver on the lead lap.
And right here, we got the poll out there in chat. You can vote from these 5 drivers: Vroman, Ruzak, sorry, Pete. I'm going to butcher it multiple times. Robertson, Boone, and Coey. The top 5 you can vote for out there in chat that you want to hear from, alongside your top 3 here tonight as we continue on here at Daytona.
Look at that. We're getting a bonus interview in tonight in the season opener. Coming out with a bang. These drivers been doing such a good job. We deserve to hear from somebody extra tonight.
Definitely. And these guys here on lap 96, keeping it running here. And I know these guys are looking to try to see who could possibly win. This top 4 is still locked up together, and they got some lap cars looking to try to help out here tonight.
Yeah, this lap car help might come into play here a little bit. You see the 69 of Lewis hanging on there, 36 of Quimby hanging on, 95 of Roman are all right there. These guys are all up to speed. If you never know, you might see Arnold make a move to the outside, and the 69 hop in line with him. It's Daytona.
Well, these guys definitely all still battling it out, coming to 4 to go. And you talked about it. Arnold hopping up to the high side, looking for some help. Not sure if he's going to get any. It doesn't look like it, though. He's still holding on to the high side, but he's going to see if he can get in front of the 12, though.
Man, he is strong up there by himself. He pulled out. He got up to the 12. He's hanging right there, door to door with the 12. 36, I believe that's Quimby up there helping him out. Just a little bit off of his bumper to give him all the help that he needs to get to the point to see if he can get past DCC Racing.
And right now it's going to be up to these guys to see what they want to do. Darnell pretty much in a catbird seat. He's got help behind him, but these 2 up front, they're going to be a difficult duo to pass. Right there, we talked earlier before the race with Carroll, and he mentioned what is the one person he wants behind him coming towards the end of this race. If I'm not mistaken, he named that 9 of Paul Irvin.
Hey, I think you're absolutely correct on that. If memory serves, I'd have to go back and rewatch the Twitch broadcast to make sure that that's right. But I think you're exactly correct. He called his shot early on, Babe Ruth style, and look what he's got with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, and right now he's holding pretty right there in the P1 spot. Paul Irvin sitting right there in P2. But the question is, Irvin knows that Carroll feels comfortable with him behind him. How are you going to make him not comfortable? When are you going to pull out and see what he's going to do as we come to 2 laps to go? Is it going to be on this lap? Is it next lap? What are we looking at here?
Well, the biggest thing for Irvin to have the confidence to pull out right now, he's going to need Joseph Darnell to suck up to him just a little bit more, get a really good run on him, and then he can pull up and hope that Darnell goes with him. He's going to need help to get around DCC Racing.
Certainly, and some of these lap cars, they're now going to get out of the way. They know, hey, it's 2 to go. We're just going to let you guys battle it out. And right now, ain't it funny enough that 12 and 22 have enough separation? They're looking to get locked up together.
Yeah, absolutely. 12 and 22 need to get hooked up right here to have a chance at it. 22's doing his job. He's sticking out there to the high side. 12's hanging strong there on the bottom, so you can't blame him. Just the amount of respect that these drivers have for each other in this series. What a fantastic series that these guys are putting on here.
Exactly, and you're exactly right with all that. These guys have been racing their hearts out, but doing it well all night. And with that, the base tribute that we could do for them is give them a good old white flag. 1 lap to go at Daytona. 1 more lap for DCC Racing to win in the NNR Truck Series debut. He's been practicing as well as every other driver for the longest time. Probably one of the most popular drivers in the series today. And now the 2-car tangos. It's going to be the battle here. Irvin all over his back bumper. He's going to be able to try to look for a run here. As we head into 3 and 4, though, the 92 looks like he's going to be sitting pretty so far. No challenge as of yet. As we go through 3 and 4, he's going to be sitting still. The 9 looking for a place to pull out. Here we go.
9 to the outside.
On the high side, side by side. They're going to try to push up the track. There we go once again. And now coming across the stripe. Who won that?
Joseph Darnell.
Oh my God.
In the 12 machine.
Joseph Darnell. What a finish. Is that not deja vu? What a finish.
Oh my goodness
Joseph
gracious.
Darnell, with only about 30 feet to go, wins it at Daytona in the NNR Truck Series debut.
Wow, what an absolute finish we saw right there. Ford bringing it home for Joseph Darnell in that number 12 body armor machine. Absolutely spectacular finish. Paul Irvin did exactly what Paul Irvin needed to do right there. He slagged off just a little bit in 3 and 4 to get a little bit of separation between him and the 92. He went up to the top side. Unfortunately, there was contact made. But the good news is, with this 4-car breakaway and this being points racing, he didn't have a whole lot to lose. Paul Irvin came home 4th right here. DCC Racing came home 3rd. I mean, that was just a really great move when, there's, the race wins on the line, and you're not going to give up points too bad if it doesn't work out. So it was a great move. I loved it.
And I do as well. It's a very unfortunate end, though, for Paul Irvin. He's going to finish outside our top 3. But right now we're going to try to pull some of these guys in here and see if we can get them interviewed here. Let's actually go and see if we can talk to the 3rd place driver of DCC Carroll. Let's see if we can try to pull him in here and try to talk to him. Let's get our 3rd place driver. Carroll, this is Expert and Blair up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
All right, man. Certainly, I know that's not how you wanted to end that race. You were leading going into 3. Coming out of 4, you had a challenge, and then in the tri-oval, just tragedy struck. You and your good buddy Paul Irvin made contact. He goes around, and you end up finishing 3rd. So give us a breakdown of what happened there, and give us an overview of your race.
Well, I kind of questioned if he was going to stick with me on that one. But when we came off 4, he said, "I'm sorry, Carol," and I knew I had to aggressively side draft him, and I got very aggressive, and we both went through the grass. So it's awesome to see my buddy Joe get the win, though. That's pretty cool.
Definitely, and you finished 3rd here in the debut. We know how much you and the rest of the community have worked so hard on getting to this point. How does it feel to get a top 3 in the first ever NNR iRacing Truck Series race?
It feels good, but it felt better with P1 beside my name.
Well, that's that is certainly one way to put it. Well, either way, congratulations once again on the podium finish, and any shout-outs from you, my friend.
Shout outs to you guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the race. I was watching the broadcast a little bit on my phone. It looked really good from what I was can see on the straightaways. But shout out to One Mind Two Design, of course. You know, TJ's team, uh, Matt, Coey, the guys that put in all this work to make this happen. That's takes a lot of work.
Definitely, and we're going to try to move you back because we know that you want to talk to some of your friends in there. So we're going to try to move you back to your spot and see if we can try to pull J-Paw in here and talk to him. But once again, congratulations and go celebrate, my man.
Thanks, man.
So we're going to move him in there. Let's see. We're going to try to pull J-Paw in here real quick. Get an interview with our second place driver real quick. All right, J-Paw, Josh Arnold himself. It's Blair and Expert up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How y'all doing?
We're doing amazing. Another great finish. And I want to ask you one question. We know you finished second, but I'm just wondering, how are you feeling when you caught that big hornet's nest of lap traffic? I think that's what everyone wants to know.
I really wanted to split it down the middle and give everybody a show and scare the daylights out of people. But when it kind of closed up there, you saw me going for 3. I really backed it up. It was on the radio, checking up. So it was a hornet's nest, and then that's when I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and pit this. So I wasn't expecting them to. Man, how was that race? I mean, side by side for a ton of time. And then we kind of singled out there at the end. Everybody was scared. And then, man, like Joe won, but you saw on the backstretch of the last lap, nobody was going to the outside. Nobody was going to. I just come off a 2, and I was like, well, I'm about to push Joe through these guys. And once he kind of like lost it, I was like, all right. And then I was just gonna see what happened. I got to run on Joe, and then those guys got side by side. It's like, oh, Nelly, and just kind of scraped the wall there. I don't know if it was by contact or just me just trying to stay away from them, but it's really good for Joe, man. He's been racing a long time, and it's I'm really excited that he is standing in victory lane after race 1 because he's a really good guy, and I've been racing with him for quite a while, and I think I've seen him win once or twice, but it's been some time between them, and so it just to get that monkey off his back is awesome. And I mean, I feel like I won finishing P2 because was going to ride out back all race and then kind of qualified up front. And I was like, well, and we tried to stay up top 10 all night. Kind of made it through a couple of wrecks if you kind of followed the region's Ford for 22 truck. Man, that was a heck of a race and calculated strategy. I mean, we had everything that you could offer in a plate track, and plus to kind of get us started in the first real season of the year. Which shout out to Ford DH, the rest of the Cole Dog crew. I think Cole and Bill's Cheese got caught up in some melee. Quims got messed up one time, finished just on a lap down. And then, Q-Dog, I think he was right there with me. We had a plan. You saw how far ahead I came out from those other guys, but with no help, they just quickly ran me down. But, me and Q had a plan. I think he slid through his pit box, which it's going to happen to me in the next few weeks here soon. So, but no, I mean, I'm just ecstatic to be in the booth again because I like coming to the booth in NNR.
Well, definitely. And you were quoted on the console side as the fastest 22 in NNR, and I think we're seeing that here as well. So congratulations once again, man. Congratulations on the first podium here on iRacing for NNR, and we're going to send you to the general chat with everybody else. So go celebrate, man, and congratulations once again.
Thanks, guys. War Eagle.
All right. We're going to move now to our winner. Good old Knights. He ended up winning here tonight, and he's going to go on his nickname is Knights, but he's better known now as Joseph Darnell. Joseph, that last lap, I mean, give it to us. You went from basically 3rd or 4th place to winning it in the matter of a half a straightaway. I mean, what happened there?
I honestly don't know. I know right before the last pit stop there, we did enter green. We were catching that big pack that you were just talking with Josh about, and me and Dustin and Paul, we had an agreement we were going to stick together no matter what right there. So we decided to pit once we caught that lap traffic. We didn't want to mess with it. We didn't want to play with it. So we came down and got our pit stops. When we came back out, the three of us, we planned it perfect. We got together. And when we came back out, we were sitting second, third, fourth, and Josh was by himself. He had lost his guys he was running with. So of course we get to go by him, and we had made the agreement we wasn't going to move. I was going to be content sitting there riding third. Me and Paul were going to push Dustin to that win. And then when we came off of turn 4, I guess Paul decided he wanted to try to make it exciting there. And I'm guessing him and Dustin just kind of made a little bit of contact there. I didn't really see what happened. All I know is I just kept the foot in it and didn't make no contact. And I had to wait, but we got almost to turn 1 before the relative actually popped over and showed me that I won the race. I didn't even know that I'd won it yet until we got to turn 1. So it's just been, I had a lot of emotions going on up there because I've been racing in NNR for a long time on the console side. And I was never a great console racer over the last few games. I kind of was just riding in the back, getting lapped all the time. But I knew once we came over here that this was a different animal. And I knew that I would be in contention, that I could win. I didn't know that it would come this early, especially in the first race of the season. The cautions actually worked perfect for me because when the first caution came out, we all pitted. I missed my pit box. So I had to come back around and pit again, which put me in the back of the field. And then we ended up losing the draft. We were like 15 seconds behind the lead pack. And then a caution came out again, and that let us catch back up. If it hadn't been for that caution, I never caught back up. So the cautions just fell at the right time. Everything just lined up perfectly. As you all can see, the truck that I was driving tonight, I'm a huge Laker fan. I was a diehard Kobe Bryant fan, and my buddy Dustin decided he wanted to paint me this truck because I'm a diehard Ryan Blaney fan. And I wanted to drive this truck tonight. Had no clue I was going to win in this truck. But not only did I get to drive that truck, but I got to win in that truck in the best league that there is. So I'm just really excited. I'm hoping everything was great on your all's end on the broadcast side, because I'm telling you, it was nerve-wracking on the driver's side.
Well, definitely, we love to see it, man. We love the the hype that you have for tonight. It's definitely, I mean, we know you're excited. Just think about this, Joseph. You get to say you are the first ever NNR iRacing Truck Series winner. You won the first one, buddy, and we're going to send you on to next week to go win many more. Go celebrate, man, and congratulations once again.
That's just amazing. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Dustin Carroll. He's one of my best friends. He's did all my paints, but my buddy James Litzenberger, he kind of got caught up in an accident tonight. I felt bad that he got caught up in that accident, but the three of us are real tight. We get on here practice all the time. So I just want to give a shout out to those guys. You know, they help me a lot when it comes to this sim racing thing. So I appreciate it, guys.
Well, the admins have requested you. The admins messaged me in general, and they're requesting you up there in chat. So we're going to send you up there real quick and let you go celebrate with them. But Blair, we have one more. Interview.
Oh, and that's right, the bonus interview.
Yes, we do. And right here, looking at the driver of the night, surprise, surprise, this good old repeat. He won with 47% of the votes. So he's going to end up being the guy that gets pulled in here. Robertson, to give him a shout out, finished second with 4 votes at 27%. Boone in third with 13%. And then Vroman and Coey, respectively, with 7% of the votes. So we're going to go ahead and pull Pete in here if it's possible, and see if we could talk to him. Pete, right here, I hope you got my message of when I sent it, but man, tonight with the Expert Racing Network Driver of the Night fan vote out there in the chat, you want to know who the fans voted for to bring up here in the booth to do an interview?
Man, I tell you what, we're all sitting there in the meeting, and there were a couple cautions, some people talk about a couple of, moves that could have or shouldn't have been made. And man, I think I ended 41 laps down, but I still had a blast, dude. Cool,
I mean,
blast.
we had a blast up here in the booth. It was amazing, and to see I mean, we knew we were going to get a first-time winner anyways tonight, but to see that type of finish, if you were able to catch a glance or a replay of it, it was amazing. But man, I mean, you came up here with such great excitement. Of course, the fans voted you driver of the night, and just give us an overview of your race, both as a driver and as a fan of this series, and of course, going into next week. I mean, I can't wait. This is night one of a whole future here for NNR on iRacing.
Yeah, what is it? I think it's like 22 weeks. Big congratulations to Knights. You know, most people know him from the NNR Cup Series over on the console side. Big congratulations to him for, you know, getting it done. Definitely appreciate everybody out there. You know, I had a few people in my chat. I put your link over to your page for the main broadcast. Go over, check you out, give you a follow. Hopefully it worked. But man, the entire race from start to finish, gave it all I had for pole. I think I qualified P6 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I was right behind. I started right behind the 95 of Nick Roman. Everybody else knows him as HD Motorsports, and pushed him and, you know, all I could. And then, just like I said before, you know, Rowdy pushed me in all the right places at all the right times at just the right strength. Did an amazing job. I can't wait to go back and rewatch that. I'm sure you, and I think his name is Shane, right?
Blair.
I apologize. I'm sure you. I'm sure you and Blair did an amazing job. When I'm at work tomorrow, guess where I'm going to be? Right on XN. What is it? XR Network. Yeah, yep. XR Network. To kind of see exactly how it all played out. But me and Rowdy, or Justin Anasagak, we were in prime position to be able to watch that. The battle between the 9, the 92, the 12, and one other. And yeah, Joe Darnell, Knights, got it done.
Well, definitely congratulations to him. And we know it's a tough break for you, but we know you'll go get him next week. Thank you for joining us, Pete, once again, and congratulations on winning the fan vote.
Thanks very much, man. Thanks for the votes, guys. Have a great evening.
All right, we're going to send you back to General here real quick, Pete. But Blair, what a great race overall that we just witnessed. I mean, the finish was pretty much deja vu, but I'm not complaining. It was amazing.
Man, what a great race these drivers did. All these drivers put on just such a fantastic show. What a great league that these admins are putting on here. Man, just shout out to everybody that puts so much work into getting such a great league put together to put on such great racing. I know I've said the word great like 7 times in a row here, but I'm just so excited that this was such a great race here at the World Center of Racing. It was just so awesome to see. Thank you to you for having me on the broadcast here. Thank you to everybody in chat with all the likes and the follows and the comments and, you know, all those things. Really helps out streamers. I'm a streamer myself. Expert mentioned it over on Facebook, and you guys don't know how much all that stuff helps out guys that are doing streaming. And thank you all so very, very much. I appreciate it. Honored to be here.
Yeah, definitely an honor to have you, man. I've been very thankful for you joining me up here in the booth, and like I said, hopefully this is the first of many in a long commentary duo that we have here. I can't wait to go throughout the season and see what's next. Of course, going on to next week, you can join us right back here. I'm going to actually get you the race, see if I can take a look at the schedule. You can look at it too. It's going to be on nnrleague.com. So go check it out. We're going to end up having, we're going to be at Atlanta next week for 130 laps. You can catch us right back here on the Expert Racing Network. Also, check out our links in chat. Support the Expert Racing merch store there. It's going to be the first link. You can check it out at streamlabs.com/XR Network. And then you can also check out our community Discord. There's the link. Of course, check out our good friend up here in the booth, Blair Patterson Racing. There's his Facebook link. Check out our good friend Pete. He mentioned it before. There's his Twitch link down below. And then, of course, check out our headline sponsor, More Than a Cake. There is the link to their website right there. But with that being said, for Blair Patterson, for NNR, for everyone involved in making this possible, I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to go raid driver Lacey Cool here on the Twitch side. So we're going to go ahead and try to start that raid. But for everybody that's been involved in this, once again, we want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Peace out.